what? Hello, everyone. How are you today? Am I here? Are we visible? Are we hearable? Is everything good? I think everything's fine. Everything's good. No lefty audio today. No lefty audio today, Horties. What's up, y'all? Are we having a good week so far? It's Tuesday in it. So we're here to fuck around and maybe find out a little bit. Let's see, let me make sure I got all my chats available here. Chat, 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 chat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, testing. 1, 2, chat. Yeah, what's up, Evie? Hello, there's Veronica, we got Nikki, there's Neil, and Jonathan over in the YouTube chat. No, life sucks. I am sorry to hear that. No good, no good. What's up? Dono Umayo. Oh, thank you for the $10 dono. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Starting us off. I haven't even been here, and we got a dono. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Yes, what's up, Gayfesh? We're here, we're queer, and we don't want any more bears. Too many bears. Alright, there's far too many bears. We need to up the amount of twinks, you know? We need to, like, cut the bear with a little bit of otters, you know? We gotta throw some otters in there. It's from Simpsons. Ah, well, I never watched The Simpsons, so there's... Yeah, what's up? Hey, Andes, yeah. Love your shirt. Thank you, yes. Gay, straight, wibbly, wobbly, sexy, wexy. Yes, and my hands are in pain today, which is why I'm wearing my compression gloves, so I appreciate the stylistic compliments, but truly it is just out of necessity. What's up, everybody? I'm literally dating an NB person whose name is Bears. No more bears! Too many cougars on the West Coast. This is true. Far too many cougars over there. If you're here, and you're ready to hang out for a little bit, hit the like button, and even if you don't want to chill with us for a little while, hit the like button before you go, because it's immediately helpful to the stream. It's always good stuff. I would love to have our chill streams and stuff, our chill times on the stream be successful as well as the political sections. So what's up, Sam? Finally made it to a live stream. Hello. Yeah, if there's any of you over in the YouTube chat, hit the like button first, but then second, if you would like to participate in the website chat, which is over here, click the top link in the description, y'all. What's up, Spider? Been a while since I've been able to join. I had a science conference, which went great, and I'm now packing for a move to another city in less than a week. Yo! That sounds exciting! Moving is difficult, and also it's a momentous occasion, so I hope that you are going to experience many wonderful things. I'm gonna be moving soon as well. My partner and I need to figure out what exactly the timeline is, but I'm basically gonna be moving, like, slowly over the next couple of months, I guess, is, like, basically how that's gonna go. So, yay. Oh my god. It's been a while since I've been able to join. Yes, yes, yes. How dare you go mayo on us? I'm super overstimmed today, so IDK, so if I'll stay the whole time. No worries, Uncomfortable. You can hang out for a little while, you can lurk, you can leave quietly, you can Irish goodbye and just dip out without saying anything to anybody. Unfortunately, I'm moving to Ohio. Oh, why are you moving to Ohio? Why would anyone move to Ohio? There is, like, toxic waste there. What's up, Ursa? Not Lux with the dope haircut and the gloves to match. Went from transgender to transformed. I guess there is, like, a little bit of a cyberpunk kind of look to these gloves. But truly, it's just because my hands hurt. Kitty, thank you so much for the tier 3 sub. Huzzah, got paid. Have a beautiful day, hun. Oh, I'm gonna do my best. You too. Hell yeah. I feel like it can't be too bad of a day when I start stream and there's all these wonderful people here just chilling, waiting to hang out. Like, you know? I mean, it's, like, hard... I feel like it's hard to be upset if you know that a bunch of people want to just hang out, you know? I really wish more people saw the value here that I see. Thank you. Seriously, y'all. I mean, I feel like lately I'm slacking a little bit, like, you know, but that's the balance, right? When I feel like I'm slacking, that's when I switch to providing just, like, a place for everybody to chill and hang out. Yee. I meant my state, Luxander, but you're valuable too. Oh, you're saying Pennsylvania. You wish that people you wish that people thought well of Pennsylvania enough to go there. You definitely are the chill hangout stream. We vibe. We vibe. I'm fucking just tired right now, TBH. So, it's, you know, and it's hot. I might even have to switch pants, because I'm wearing, like, comfy pants, but they're, like, sweats almost, and I might need to switch to, like, some shorts or something, because, wowie, it's warm. It's warm! Thankfully, the place that I'm moving to has really good air conditioning, so... Specifically Pittsburgh, I mean, all the cities and major counties have protections. That's cool. I know some cities in Kansas also have, like, local trans protections. Like, you know, despite the fact that the law just passed here limiting the access to public restrooms and everything, you know, I think Kansas City and Lawrence both declared themselves, like, sanctuary cities, basically, where they're like, officially, we are not going to enforce certain aspects of this law. What's up, Veronica? I wanted to hop in and say hi, but I'm dipping because I'm feeling terrible due to lots of transphobic and death threat replies to my YouTube comments lately. YouTube needs to take that stuff more seriously. Anyhow, sending love, and see you Thursday when I get paid. I'm jonesing for a good flex. Yeah, no worries, Veronica. Like, take care of yourselves whenever you need to take a break. No worries. Did that law go into effect yet? Yes, it went into effect on July 1st, so it's actually been over a month that, I basically just consider it, and I realize that people may find this sort of, like, disingenuous or problematic in some way, but I basically have just been telling people that it's now illegal for me to use public restrooms, because functionally, you know, legally I'm required to use the female restroom, but that's the place where there's going to be extra scrutiny, so even if I go to the restroom where I'm supposed to, much like that trans man who got beat up at a campground last year, you know, realistically, I'm risking having someone call the cops on me no matter which one I use. And I feel like, you know, even if I'm out somewhere in Kansas City where they've declared that they're not going to enforce the law, you know, I feel like every individual police officer is not going to necessarily be, you know, on board with that. You know, if the cops get called, they're still potentially going to show up, and, like, any individual cop could be transphobic, you know, so I just have been, I already don't use public restrooms very often, and I prefer not to go out as much as a lot of folks. Yeah, so one good thing is, like, one of the only public places that I go that I might need to use the restroom is the gym, and up until recently, at least, I've been going to a gym that has a gender-neutral bathroom option. I don't think, the gym that I'm switching to, I don't think it has like an accessible single stall bathroom. So, you know, I basically just am taking the extra steps to make sure that I won't have to use the restroom when I'm out and about. Today, I really had to use the restroom while I was out and about, and I was just like, sucks, like, hold it, you know? I'm gonna go do some stuff, and then wait until I get home. And it wasn't that big of a deal. But, yeah, I mean, practically speaking, we're getting statewide protections shortly in Pennsylvania, and then benefits here are fucking amazing. You can earn up to, like, $16.50 an hour and still have access to the Medicaid system. That's pretty dope. That's pretty good. Cyberpunk is dope. Is it cyberpunk? It just feels like I'm disabled. Like, that's mostly what it mostly feels like. I tried to crochet earlier and I couldn't because my hand hurt. You know? Like, I want to show you the like general how far I got doing this. I had to restart it actually because I goofed initially. But can you please excuse me? Wow, why? Wow. Okay, just. I don't really have a lot of patience today, if I'm being completely honest. Did this just come undone? No. Okay, so basically, like, I was trying to crochet something, and I got a little ways into it, and then I had to restart this. So. Just the motion of, like, holding the string taut and then holding the work with my hands. Like, this hurts my hands. Like, right now. Like, up through the back of my hand right here. And it sucks. I didn't go work out today because I didn't want to hurt my hands. Like, sometimes I just can't do things. And it's a little frustrating. Like, I don't really think about my physical disabilities as limitations very often, and then I am just like, oh, I can't do stuff. Like, I would love to go do dishes, but my hands hurt, and then, like, gripping stuff in order to hold it still and everything, like, doesn't feel good. I'm so glad you're moving. I remember that video. Listen, I've been on a get out train for a long time. It's just finally happening. I love fingerless gloves. I should buy more. I know they're super cute. Yeah, I do want to get, like, I guess I'll just shout them out really quick while I'm here. But, someone who I follow on Blue Sky... Okay, I guess I did not do it this way. Why? I don't know why everything has to be so fucking difficult today. Someone I follow on Blue Sky, called BB, Abby, Black Disabled Queer Creator, has, like, some products. And I'm probably gonna buy some of these soon. Because they have, like, compression gloves. Look at these! These look cool. I want these. I'm gonna buy these, probably. Because I also think that these are, like, starting to get looser. And they're not as, like, effective to me anymore. Do you have anything to relieve the pain? Hope it'll stop soon. I don't really... I try not to, like, take meds for when I'm having, like, random pains and injuries. Hello, Silent! I guess, like, I've just been taking ibuprofen a lot lately, so I'm trying not to take it as much. And then, like, yeah. So it'll just fucking be better tomorrow, probably. Like, it'll just feel better. Hello, Violet! I love these types of gloves for when my hands cramp from typing a lot. Right. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at, like, ergonomic mice. Like, am I really gonna have to get a mouse that lets you, like, hold your hand sideways, you know? Thinking about it. Thinking about it. I've escaped Baldur's Gate 3 for a few. I hear great things. I mean, mostly in the fact that, like, your genitals are customizable. That's the main thing I hear about Baldur's Gate. I'm the kind that has an MMO mouse, great for macros and such. Do you mean MMO mouse, like, it has all the, like, buttons on the thumb? This is my thing. Okay. Why is there... Yes, Baldi's GOK 3. Why is there not, like, a combination ergonomic gaming mouse? Here's my thing. I'm looking at all these gaming mice, right? Yes, customized genitals, Neil. The game Baldur's Gate 3 lets you customize your genitals. So if I have a mouse, if there's a mouse that's, like, specifically, you know, most of them are like this, and you've got your little fingers and your little thumb and you do this, right? This is your hand position for the mouse. And then, like, there's some mice that give you, like, 12 buttons over here. Like, a bunch of buttons over here on your thumb. Excellent, all right? And then there's these mice that, like, let you cradle it from an angle like this. So, like, the clicky buttons are over here on the side, and, like, like, your hand kind of cups around it, like this. Yeah? Why do these ergonomic mice not all come with an array of thumb buttons? You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. I need an MMO-style version to just give it to me. Just give it. The whole ergonomic implies most mice aren't already ergonomic, when in reality all mice are generally ergonomic besides the garbage apple mice or tiny mice. Hard disagree. Almost all mice are meant for your wrist to go flat like this. And it fucking hurts. Like, if you have any amount of, like, hand and wrist shit, you know, like, there's a, you know, a reason why basically anything that's ergonomic is trying to take you away from this flat position and take you over this way. Like, I can, if I am, you know... Here, I'm gonna try to cover up the laser so that I don't jab my eyeballs out. This is my mouse. I could, technically speaking, like, just drape my hand across the side of the mouse and, like, go easier on my wrist this way. But, like, the mouse is meant to be held like this. You know, it's meant to be held this way, and that's, like, strain on your wrist if you're a person who has wrist pain. So... Is it? Yeah, it's the G502. Yeah. It's nice. I don't have any of the weights in it, so it's like, it's still very lightweight. What's up, Shade? In terms of most ergonomic, you should just use only keyboards in the first place. Listen, Violet, like, I just, as speaking as someone with, like, hand and wrist pain, I am also thinking about, like, how the practical difficulties of a keyboard. Because the keyboard, like, again, it's all flat like this. Like, I don't even know if there are ergonomic keyboards that give you the full keyboard and let you go, like, at like, slight angles like this. I don't think that there is such a thing as a truly ergonomic, they're curvy. Yeah, they're, like, curvy, but not, like... I don't know if they are up and down curvy the way that they would need to be. I don't know. Yeah, just hook it to my brain. That's what I'll do. I'll just hook it up to my brain. There are ergonomic keyboards. I just don't think that they're actually designed by people who actually have the pains. I've seen up and down curvy. Okay, I might have to check this out. Yeah. It's the eternal struggle that I'm gonna enter into now now that I'm about in my 30s and I have a connective tissue disorder. Like, the struggle between being a gamer versus being, like, disabled. So I want a gamer mouse, but I also don't want my wrist to hurt. I want a nice mechanical keyboard, but I don't want my wrists to hurt. Yes, we need to find disabled gamers and get them together to start a business. We've got so many ideas. Do you have wrist rests? I have a wrist rest for my mouse. It came with one. Or not for my mouse. I can't talk. For my keyboard. It came with one. I don't have one for my mouse area, although I probably could get one. Get a big meaty trackball. They are way easier on your wrist and forearm. Use it for mouse and keyboard. Very much recommend. Yeah, I should get one for my mouse. So, trackball. Mouse, Kitty, I was just talking to my partner about this. So they do make trackball mice nowadays, but the way that they make them nowadays is that you hold it in your hand, and then your right thumb on the left side of the mouse is where the ball is, a little trackball thing. When I was younger, my dad had a trackball mouse that it was under your fingertips. Like, you would hold the mouse, it would rest, your hand would rest on it like this, and then it was your fingertips that would move this giant red ball. And it was awesome. And we went to a computer store recently, and we tried, I put my hand on a bunch of different mice, and I tried the one with the thumb trackball mouse, and I fucking hated it. I was like, nope, don't like it. My dad just started using his left hand instead of his right for mouse work. I mean, true. Check Newegg for the trackball you like. Newegg? Yeah. I don't actually think that I want a trackball mouse, you know. I miss when the ball was on the bottom of the mouse. You used to pop them out and suck on them. I definitely enjoyed playing with those. I think if you want a trackball seriously, you should just use a tablet at that point. I feel like I keep saying the problem is that the flat part, the thing about how it's flat is the problem, and then there's more suggestions of, like, a flat thing. Like, oh, if your mouse is uncomfortable, use your keyboard. And I'm like, nah, that's not really helping me. Like, oh, if you want a trackball mouse, then use a tablet. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And also, like, how much is a mouse gonna cost me versus how much is a tablet gonna cost me? You know what I mean? I used to steal the balls from mice at school to use as slingshot balls because they're so smooth. They're so, like, aerodynamic. Just boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm just struggling. I'm struggling with, you know, the limitations of my human flesh form, but... you know, I'm working through it, and it usually doesn't last for too long, my various pains. So I'm hoping, like, I'll wear the compression gloves for the rest of the day, and hopefully tomorrow my hands will feel better. Yeah, what about a glove with motion tracking and cameras which average the position of your hand, regardless of orientation in 3D space, which then projects it onto a 2D plane to move the mouse? Exactly. I made a custom mechanical for work. It is super easy to press the keys, but it's still flat. I like my keyboard, and I usually don't have a big problem with it, and I don't usually have a huge problem with the mouse thing either. It's just like, when I am in pain, using my regular equipment sucks. So... Oh, geez. Earlier today, I did my exercise. I heard that apparently you're supposed to do all 3 sets of an exercise in a row with rests rather than rotating. Apparently, I've been doing it wrong for months. Oh, mama. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that that was something that was unclear. Because, yeah, you do like 3 sets, one right after the other with your breaks in between. And hopefully that'll help you build more muscle this way. I really do. I hope that my hands stop hurting before Thursday, because Thursday is supposed to be my next day at the weights. And I'm gonna try at a new gym. I'm trying some different gyms than the one that I've been going to. Trying out some of those, like, you know, this place gives you a free week. This place gives you a couple of free sessions or what have you. It went faster too since I wasn't changing position all the time. Yeah, I can't imagine, like, if you were at a gym, for example, and you were like, I'm gonna do 1 set on this machine and then walk halfway across the gym and do 1 set on this machine. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a lot better. So that's PSA. When you're doing an exercise, usually what I do is I do 2 warm-up sets with 5 repetitions at a lower weight. So whatever I'm doing, like, let's say I'm gonna start doing, like, my overhead move. I'll start with, like, a really low-ish weight, and I'll push 5, and then I'll break for 30 seconds, and then I'll push 5, and then break for 30 seconds, and then I'll start my actual sets, and then I do, like, 3 sets of 12 with a gap in between each set. So technically I do 5 sets of every exercise that I do, but I just do because I want to make sure that I get adequate warm-up instead of just launching into every exercise. That was something I was confused about, since I do want to use the campus gym once school starts. Smart. I get so bored when I exercise, I get sleepy and yawn a lot. I need to start using my Switch with, like, a dancing game. Honestly, y'all, if anybody out there is like, I don't like cardio and it sucks balls, if you have a PS2 and you can find, or you can find such, get DDR. Y'all who are bored by exercise, especially if you're trying to get your cardio in, play Dance Dance Revolution. Is cooldown important after your working sets? I don't know, actually. Like, frankly, I don't know a lot about cooldown, and I don't do it, probably as much as I should, you know? But I just kind of, like, I stop one exercise when I'm finished, and then I figure, like, by the time I get to the next one and get it set up and get my weights ready and everything, that's enough cooldown between, like, 3 to 5 minutes or something. I used to play DDR all the time. I had a pad and everything. My partner and I still do. I played Beat Saber. Oh, man, yeah, my partner has, one of the VR sets that has Beat Saber on it, and it's like... Hell yeah. I listen to the Majority Report usually, or some other podcast or video essay while I exercise. Music actually made me more bored while exercising because it didn't hold as much of my attention. I'm a freak, y'all. I don't listen to anything when I exercise anymore. I used to, you know, not really music, but I would try to find, like, a video essay or something along those lines. And the amount of time that I was sinking into trying to find something for each, like, workout, it was just a fucking pain in the ass. And, like, I kind of want to give my brain more opportunities to just be my brain. 'Cause, like, you know, I do sort of feel to some extent that creativity... It doesn't blossom when you're fucking thinking about stuff all the time, you know? Like, I can't create something that I thought of originally if I'm not having any original thoughts. Like, if most of the time I'm listening to something, processing someone else's ideas, like, sure, I can process someone else's ideas and filter them and have original thoughts in response. But that's not the same as, like, having free-flowing, just, like, associative thoughts, you know? So, I don't really know what effect it's had on me, But I have been, like, when I go for those hour-long walks multiple times a week, I don't listen to anything. I have my thoughts, and, like, you know, sometimes the bugs, I'm like, oh my god, the cicadas are so loud. And then I tune into that, and I'm experiencing the moment, like, being more in it, I guess. So maybe exercise is a little bit more of a mindfulness thing for me, because I'm not, like, trying to be entertained while I'm doing it. Looking for something to watch is like getting a snack when your fridge is mostly empty. You don't see anything at first, so you give up, but you just keep going back with lower and lower standards each time. Well, here's the problem, mama, is like, you know, if your workout is like an hour long, all of the creators that I follow don't usually put out hour-long videos. So what, I'm gonna have to find like 4 different 20-minute long videos to account for like my drive to the gym and back? Like, you know, that's the hard part, is getting enough of that. I hate exercising, but once I started doing it in the therapy pool, I loved it. Way less pain. Nice. I actually did go swimming last week, and it is it's so cardio. Did you all remember, when was the last time that any of y'all went swimming? Did you remember that swimming is cardio? I forgot. And I was like, like it was torturous. By the way, we're enjoying hanging out. Hit the like button real fast. And even if you don't want to chill and hang out with us, hit the like button anyway. We're gonna chill for a little while longer and then get into talking about some memes and some news. It's been a while since I swam. Sure. That's why I listen to Majority Report. At least 2 hours of content, 5 days a week. Fair enough, guaranteed. I can't swim, though I liked it. I have purple hair, and that is way more important to me. Listen, I am becoming this person who, like, I have so many activities that I want to do, and I have equipment that I need in order to do them. I want to go swimming more regularly, which means I have to buy a swim cap, because I care so much about my hair. Listen, y'all, this is, you know, I don't know if you realize how long my hair is at this point, but I am going to show you how long this shit is. And, like, I care so much about my hair's health. COVID has ruined pools for me. No, fair enough. I have access to a very small pool that, you know, if you go, like, during the week, like, on a work day, and especially if it's overcast, you can pretty well assume that the pool is gonna be empty. But I wouldn't go to a public pool with a lot of people. Even the small pool that I have access to, I wouldn't want to, like, I would not want to go there while there is literally anyone there. Maybe if there are, like, if there's 1 or 2 other people and they stay on the opposite side of the pool, maybe. Public pools already grossed me out a bit. Like, here's a big germ soup. How bad does chlorine hurt hair dye? I never thought about it. Yeah, no, it can, like, completely fuck it up and make it a totally different color. Anyway, I need to enforce cognitive dissonance to swim in my apartment complex's pool. The great thing about pools is that they are full of chlorine and shit. Look at how long my hair is, y'all. Like, this is getting ridiculous up here. It's at titty level, you know? This is where the titty is. It's at titty level. Ugh. For my stream, I review movies because I have an AMC A-list. I always make sure to grab weekday morning showings to avoid too many people in the theater. True. It's wonderful to have that flexibility. My one friend has a saltwater pool that is so nice. It doesn't bleach hair and your skin feels smooth after. Ooh. And it's starting from the top of your head, too. I know! If I didn't shave the sides, that would be like belly button level. I know, mama. I'm growing out the back of my head. I don't know if it's very visible, but, like, I'm growing out the back of my head. It's gonna, you know, my hair is gonna be like this, and then it's gonna be like, and it's gonna get, like, thinner, tapered towards the bottom. But, like, I'm gonna grow it out long ways in the back. It would be much longer, though, if I had been growing it out from there the entire time. Spider! Got the ears pierced! Oh my gosh, that's awesome! Is that your first piercing? That's really exciting. You gotta get long enough to weave it into an entire outfit. Yeah, exactly. The stronger the chlorine smell, the more bodily fluids are in it. Oh no. I want to make or at least design a mouse for you. I'm gonna start on ZBrush and base it on the idea that moving sucks. I mean, I guess I don't mind, moving the mouse. Like, I don't want to do the trackball instead of regular mouse movement. It's just the wrist. It's just the clicking and the wrists, and like the fact that none of the mice that are ergonomic like this have any buttons right here. They should have like gamer button mouses right there. Thank you, Juloris. I'm a big fan of this shirt. I love the Doctor Who reference. Wibbly wobbly sexy wexy. Oh my gosh, y'all, drink water. It's too effing hot. Ugh. There's conflicting instructions online for caring for the piercing. Spider, here's what you do. You got your ears pierced. You got regular pierce, like regular kind, right? You just got like one of these guys down here. Just a regular, like, you see how this one is like small? I got a small one. You got one of those? So, yeah, you want to use your saline wash probably a couple times a day. I would say use a mild soap, like, I guess like once a day or every other day is fine. Mostly wash your hands before you touch them at all. And don't fuck with them. Like, you want to fuck with them as little as possible. Really? Thank you, Tabaxi. Oh, I appreciate you. Drink more water. We're gonna start talking about news and memes and stuff before too long, y'all. I understand if you don't want to be here for the hangout, hit like before you leave for sure. Do that again. If I see where and at what angle your hand's like being at, it will be a good start. Listen, I mean, like, I don't know how you're gonna get it to me even if you design me a mouse and like the logistics involved with the electronics and everything there, but like, I don't know, man, like, at an angle, you know? Like, normally you'd be up like this on a mouse, you know? It just needs to be like, I don't know what that is. 35 degrees? Something like that. I know, I'm shilling for big water. I would become a shill for the right company, for the right price. I want a helix or 3. Any advice? Gozer, do you mean like a helix up here? Man, I don't have any cartilage piercings because I know that my shit would not heal very fast. Like, I know for sure... Yeah, no, not Nestle. I would not shill for Nestle. I would say, you know, buy some extra pillowcases if you're gonna get a cartilage piercing so that you can change your pillowcase frequently. Be prepared to spend at least 6 months letting that bitch heal. So you're gonna have to treat it like an open wound for a good time, like a good long time. Critical Kitty in the YouTube chat says, antibacterial soap once or twice per day, given that they used to live in a tattoo/piercing parlor. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? What do we got here? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you, Gayfesh. Combine these two mice and I will buy one. The product idea is now out on Twitter. You do, yeah, of course, you deserve full credit. I'm gonna retweet. Give it a retweet and a like. I don't even like being on this stupid website anymore. Oh gosh. That's all I want. All I want for Christmas is an ergonomic gamer mouse with really high DPI. That's all I want. That's all I want. How am I so anxious? My coffee is decaf uncomfortable. I get the same thing. I do. I get the same thing where I'm like, if I have 2 cups of coffee, I start getting anxiety and I'm like, girl, this is decaf. Honestly, Neil, I would be very impressed. I do think, my personal opinion is that I think that this is a little bit too, it's a little bit too far this way. This mouse on the screen. Like, I just think that it's a little bit too far and it should be, like, a more comfortable resting position is somewhere in the middle of those. I deleted X and I'm only using Blue Sky now. Yeah, I love Blue Sky. I'm rarely on Twitter. The other day I got some straight up Holocaust denial on the timeline. Thanks, X. Amazing. I have 3 cartilage piercings in each ear. If you fiddle with them, they can just decide not to heal. I've had mine for 2 years and it's finally fully healing because I stopped messing with it. Even my regular lobe piercings I got in February last year. And I mean, they took a long time to heal. I don't know why it was exactly. I just think that, like, maybe that's part of my connective tissues. No, it's not. It's not 45. It's like 35. Like, this is 90. This would be... Or whatever, yeah, this is 0. This would be 90. Like, I feel like the part of the problem with this mouse is that it's at, like, a 45-degree angle. And I just feel like it needs to be a little bit lower profile than that. Anyway. Yeah, exactly, Critical. So, lots of people touch their piercings too much. Even my industrials I got over a decade ago sometimes get irritated because of my EDS. Oh yeah, the image is 45. Listen, I think if I can, there's just not gonna be a good time to do it, but I want a new tattoo so badly. Like, I just can't justify the, like, $300 or whatever, like, I mean, probably less than that, but, like, I mean, even so, like, $150, $200 for the tattoo that I want next, like, I just don't think I can reasonably do it this year. What do you want your tattoo to be? So my next tattoo is gonna be the Ouroboros from Full Metal Alchemist. I got lucky with my piercings. I only used the saline wash for like the first week and have never had problems with them. Shit, I never even take the earrings out. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think I heal as well as I used to. So I'm gonna get the Ouroboros tattoo from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This is my next tattoo, because I know where it is and I know what it is. I have several... I know what the tattoo is gonna be, but I don't know where it's gonna go. And I have a couple I know where I want a tattoo to be, but I don't know what it is yet. But this one, I know what it is and where it go. Because, I don't know if you can see this way in the corner here, but Envy, who's the shapeshifter, has theirs on their, like, thigh. And so I'm gonna get that on my thigh. It's gonna be sexy. So very sexy. Oh my god. I'm excited. My tattoo artist lives over 1,000 miles away. So hard because I love her so much. I don't have a specific tattoo artist. I have gotten each of my tattoos done by a different person, except for this one and this one, which I got at the same time. So that was the same person. But, I do have a tattoo parlor that I will probably return to if they're gonna be willing to, like, take the work that I want to give them. Because I just feel like they treated me really well. They did my chest tattoo. So, I think when I can afford to give myself a Christmas present or a birthday present next year... I fell in love with my tattooist's work 10 years ago and want her to do the rest of my pieces. I feel like that's pretty legit as a tattoo artist, being like, I know that I have this customer for life, that they're always gonna come back to me to do their pieces. As long as it's still creatively fulfilling for the artist, of course. Oh, gosh. I love being freshly shaven. It feels so nice. It feels so smooth. Except that my hair is like Velcro. This part of my head, my long strings of hair will just, like, stick to it like Velcro. I give my tattooist an idea and let her design the whole piece. That's awesome. That increases the price of the tattoo quite a bit, usually, right? Because you have to pay them for the time that they spend designing and drawing it for you. You should get some actual Velcro and see if it'll stick. To my head? No, 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 no. My head is only... It's my hair is Velcro to my other hair. And that's it. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. We do have some annoying stuff to talk about today. We have some funny stuff to talk about today, too. 100 down on the drawing, which goes toward the piece. Sure. I just recently did a mohawk and retouched the sides, and it really do be some Velcro type shit. Just stuck to there. But it feels nice. There's a place that my niece goes to. You put a quarter in the machine, and whatever comes out, whatever tattoo comes out, you can get for $50. I think she's crazy. Some people just like to do a lot of really small, random tattoos. Gayfesh, thank you so much for the gifted tier 1 subs. Get out of here, white names. Enjoy some monies. Thank you very much. No more white names. Mayo side, Mayo side, Mayo side. We gotta do it. Mayo side. And we're 1/3. Oh, no, that's 40. We are almost 1/3 of the way to the stream goal today. And now that I'm back in the gym for these last few weeks, like, boy howdy, I flexed last stream, and I was like, ooh, I didn't realize that I had gotten so much bigger since the last time I flexed on stream. But yeah, lots of people, I know people who will go to a tattoo parlor on, like, Friday the 13th, because there are, like, special deals for Friday the 13th tattoos where you can just do a walk-in and get some small piece. You know, you just pick it out of the book. You don't get to, like, decide what it actually is, so that the artists can just pump them out in, like, 30 minutes or whatever. And I'm just not that type of person. I don't want a lot of just random art on my body. So I tend to think about my stuff a little bit more. Here's my tattoo vision for right now. I'm gonna get the Ouroboros on my thigh. I want some kind of tattoo, and I don't know what it is yet, but some kind of tattoo in the under boob, side boob area, like cupping the underside of the boob on both sides. I don't know what it is yet, but I want something in that location. I want to get, like, a mixture of the world tree, like the tree of life, world tree from, like, pagan belief, mixed with, like, the Banyan Grove tree from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I think that the logical place for that to go is in, like, the center of my back, or, like, between my shoulder blades, but I haven't quite narrowed that down yet. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, thanks, Gozer. I mean, holy shit, Lux, that progress is amazing. I wish I could progress that fast, but I don't think I have the right brain to know how to do fitness well, so I'm just hoping to keep my slow and steady growth going. Honestly, I think that now that you know how to do your repetitions in a way that makes more sense, like, it'll be a lot better. Like, a lot faster. I've thought about doing something there, too. I'm thinking maybe some vines and flowers or a dragon with flowers on it. For the under boob, yeah, I've seen a lot of really cool ones. And I don't know what it's gonna be yet. But like, it's gotta be sexy. I was kind of thinking maybe wildflowers, because I'm, like, leaving Kansas soon, and I'm from here, and I'm sad about it. But I don't want, like, I want this to be a tattoo that fucks. Like, if there's gonna be a tattoo on the underboob area, that's like a tattoo that fucks, right? So it can't make me sad. It can't have, like, sad vibes. Lux, have you heard the Gojira song Ouroboros? No, I have not. I'm not familiar with Gojira. Anyway, we're talking about tattoos. We're talking about shit that doesn't matter. We have fun talking about nonsense. Maybe we should actually get to starting about something that matters. I want to get a tattoo of the fossil I've been researching, and one of a crow and snake. Ooh, and I want to get a mushroom tattoo somewhere on my body, but I have not figured out exactly where that's gonna be. Like, where, if you want mushrooms, like, imply, you know, decay and, like, waste. So where do you get a mushroom tattoo on your body that isn't gonna look, like, weird and bad? You know what I mean? Boobception. I've thought about getting a patch of scales, maybe on the back of shoulder or under the boob. The colors would be important, though. I've kind of thought about getting some kind of patches of scales, maybe, like, up on my shoulders, like, creeping up onto my neck, maybe, like, on the back of my neck, or, something like that. But I haven't really picked that idea up in a long time, because it would, you know, I'm gonna be very particular about how it looks. Mushroom tattoo on furniture. Get boobs under your boobs so you can boob while you boob. My friend has a badger on her arm with mushrooms growing on its back. Ooh. That makes me want to go get my badger, but it's too warm. In the winter time, my badger will make an appearance every once in a while, okay? My sister has a mushroom on her ankle. Mushrooms represent more than death and decay. They also represent feasting on and thriving among the decay. And they can remind you of rebirth and regrowth. I mean, these are all true, Amaranth. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with this tattoo, but it's like I have a similar vibe going on here with like a skull, but like flowers are growing out of it. But like where? Where do you get a tattoo of mushrooms? Like, there isn't like a good, sexy place. And don't even get me started. Hold on. Wait a second. Don't even get me started on the things that this is making me want to do. Hold on. Silencio. Please, come on, give me a good picture of this. I want a good picture. Please. Here we go. This is a good picture. Don't even get me started! Listen, I don't need an entire fucking arm and shoulder and rib cage tattoo, but like... Come on. I don't know how it would resolve. I'm assuming that I would have like a... Maybe there would be like a black band right here, and it would resolve and like stop there, and then the rest of my arm would be normal, and it would just be like the black shit up here. Man! I want that. Mushrooms by your wrist, because your hands create or destroy. Listen, listen! Listen. Okay, here's another good picture. Oh, is this gonna be all scrungly? The picture is all scrungly. Give me, like, a decent quality fucking image, please. That's a little bit better. But, like, you know... That's cool. Why is Link so hot? Anyway. I'm gonna let that, like, the intensity of that sensation, the fact that I want that tattoo so bad, I gotta let that pass. I gotta let that go by. And also because it would enter the underboob territory. So it would disrupt whatever plans I had for that tattoo. Anyway. Thank you, Jonathan Keller. Just noticed that you're looking kind of buff, Lux. I appreciate it. I've been working out for basically the entire year. And, like, as you can see, the stream goal is for me to flex. So you guys get to see my progress whenever we hit the stream goal of, like, how big am I since the last time I flexed on stream. Sometimes we don't reach the stream goal for, like, a week or two, and that's okay. That means that there is a bigger change. Yay! You could get a mushroom on the small of the back or one on a shoulder. Yeah. My idea with my mushroom tattoo is that I do want to have shaded art on my body. All of my tattoos are flat. Flat black, no shading, and I want a tattoo with a stream. With, like, shading on it. And I don't know what that art is. And I was thinking the mushroom, it could be, like, several mushrooms with, like, shading and art. But, the kind of tattoos that I admire are ones that are tentacles and, like, underwater stuff. But I don't really want a tentacle tattoo, I just really like the way that they look. So I'm still trying to figure out... I want some kind of actual art at some point. I just haven't figured out what that is. You should get a mushroom on your knuckles so that you can mushroom stamp people. True. Later, Spider. Go pack for your move. Yeah, I mean, honestly. Mushrooms on your feet/ankles? Maybe. Roots? The tentacles of the land. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, what about a little forest floor starting on the ankles and then going up the leg? A tree, even? I haven't really thought about lower leg tattoos, but that's an interesting idea. What about other sea creatures, like sea bugs? Yeah, let me just get, like, a tattoo of fucking underwater isopods. Let me get a tattoo of one of these horrendous beasts. That sounds amazing. Wouldn't that be awesome? Look at his face. Look at their little faces. Aw, and they're huge, by the way. I don't want you to get it twisted. These guys are like a foot long, you know? Are you guys excited for when I have my my new stream setup after I move, and I have my isopods and like the special camera for the isopods? I'm excited. I just want to die when I see SpongeBob tattoos. Everybody's got their own thing. Everybody's on, you know? Everybody's on their own thing. Googling sea dragon comes up with the leafy sea dragon. They look dope as hell. There's also the common sea dragon. Right, and like, yeah. Sea dragons, like, they're the ones that the males carry the babies, right? Seahorses? Are sea dragons and seahorses, like, similar animals? They're not the same? Yeah, everybody's on their own journey, and some journeys lead to SpongeBob tattoos. They are not similar. Okay, cool. IDK, LOL, I'm a land demon. Yeah, I am not, I don't like the ocean. I just really don't like it. By the way, I am so stoned that I wrote Germany instead of journey. Everyone has their own Germany. Gayfesh, you're not, like, making it easier on me wanting to visit. I've never been to a dispensary before. I guess I could technically, like, go to Missouri and visit a dispensary, despite the fact that, you know, obviously I wouldn't be able to cross any state lines with anything. But, like, I live in Kansas, and fucking, it feels like we're surrounded on all sides by people who are just, like, you know what I mean? So, but I've never been to one. It seems like it would be a fun thing to do, to go to, like, a dispensary and actually get to peruse products and, like, talk to people without this, like, weird veneer of, like, hush-hush about it, right? Molduga? True. I mean, you're white. You can probably get across state lines with it pretty easy. Yeah, obviously I should not. If you have a connective tissue disorder, you should be eligible for medical weed. Ah, well, let me tell you, Critical. Kansas also doesn't have medical weed. We don't even have medical here. So, like, even if I were to go to Missouri and get a medical card in Missouri, I'm still not allowed to possess it in Kansas. The place I go to is nice, good people there. See, you know what? I could see myself working at a dispensary, maybe. If I really needed a part-time job, if I was really like, I can't do this streamer thing as my only income or whatever, I could do, like, a part-time at a weed store. I think that would be good. I literally just go, give me your cheapest gummy. I am the easiest customer. Thank you, Amaranth. I appreciate you. Yeah, have a good day. Excuse me. Okay. I was a dispo agent in Arizona for 3.5 years. It was the best job ever. I got to really help people with it. Very wonderful medicine on the real, for sure. I feel like some states not recognizing licenses like that is a violation of interstate commerce laws. I don't know. I don't actually know. I guess I've just always assumed that that would be the case, that even if I had a medical license, that it wouldn't be acknowledged here. But because the thing is that, like, on a federal level, cannabis is still highly illegal, right? It's still, like, a Schedule I drug, such that it's not even legal to do research on it. Unless it's, like, highly specialized, you get special permission to do research with it, you know? So, if it weren't federally illegal on that level, then I could definitely see it being a violation of interstate commerce laws for medical licenses to not be acknowledged, but I do think that this is a much trickier area. Lux, is Kansas a hellscape of corn and degeneracy? There's definitely a lot of corn here. I normally don't think of it as a hellscape, but I'm definitely not happy to be here either. And there are several places in Kansas that are quite degenerate. I know, like, you know, there's a good amount of queer people in, like, Lawrence, you know? Like, it's a college town, so it kind of has that reputation for, like, young people, queer culture, or whatever. And then, like, I think Wichita is also a pretty blue, and Topeka has, like, a shit ton of people of color living there, and so does Kansas City. So, I mean, there's, like, corn, and then blue areas where things are a little bit degenerate, you know? The federal thing is exactly correct. Yeah. Anyway. This is not a stream where we're hitting a lot of viewers right now, because I'm talking about bullshit. College towns are apparently shifting red states' purple words nationally. It just sucks, because, like, you know, if you have a college town, you know, I have lived in college towns before, and it sucks till it's, like, hard to build any community. Like, it was back when I would have been college age. I was college age when I lived near a college town, and I just felt like it was impossible to find other queer people because people just fucking leave during the summer and everything, you know? So if you're trying to date or anything like that, it's just rough. If they got rid of the federal ban, I think those licenses should have to apply, because before gay marriage was legalized federally, people could get married in Vermont and then other states would still have to recognize them. I thought that was not the case. Like, I actually think that, so generally speaking, there is a rule that says states must respect the laws of other states, like driver's licenses. You know, if I get licensed in Kansas, if I go driving in Missouri, they still have to acknowledge my driver's license as valid. That was what the Defense of Marriage Act was. Bill Clinton signed the Defense of Marriage Act, and it was an exception to that law. It was an exception that said, even if you are gay married because it's legal in Vermont, you know, other states don't have to recognize it. That was like, there was like an exception to the interstate commerce law, specifically on the grounds of like discriminating against gay couples. Y'all, it's crazy how not long ago this was. Like that a Democratic president signed the Defense of Marriage Act in the 90s. And that was still the law. Like when... Here, let's look up the Defense of Marriage Act. DOMA. Nope. Okay, here we go. Defense of Marriage Act. Passed by Bill Clinton on September 21st, 1996. Less than 30 years ago. Banned federal recognition of same-sex marriage, limiting the definition, and it further allowed states to refuse to recognize same-sex marriages granted under the laws of other states. And... oh, wow. Oh, my wrist. Fuck. Okay. Great. Let's see. When did it get repealed? Obama administration. His 2008 political platform endorsed the repeal of DONA's Defense of Marriage Act. In 2009, the Justice Department issued a brief congressional intervention on... in 2011... Boehner announced that the bipartisan legal advisory group would convene to consider whether the House of Representatives should defend DOMA Section 3. House leaders announced the selection of blah, 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 challenges to Section 3 in federal court. Prior to 2009, all federal courts upheld DOMA in its entirety. There were several cases to do with this. Challenges to Section 2, repeal. So it was officially repealed. So the Supreme Court struck down DOMA Section 3 in 2013. And the Respect for Marriage Act cleared the filibuster hurdle when the Senate voted to advance it, and then he signed the repeal. So I guess it... like, the Supreme Court struck down DOMA in 2013, so it was, like, still on the books, but unenforceable for the past 10 years. 10 years. And they only just actually repealed it last year. Literally, like, 9 months ago. At the end of last year, they finally officially repealed it. So yeah, it was, like, completely legal to discriminate against gay couples. After my first year of college, all my friends dipped and I had to get a whole new friend group. Holy shit, that's fucking annoying. Well, so here's the thing, Mama, is that they had permission. It's not like other states are required to ignore your marriage license under DOMA. but it was that states were given the option to not acknowledge. So, like, it was probably literally up to whoever they were dealing with. If you had a gay couple who got married in Vermont and then they went back to their home state of New Hampshire, where gay marriage wasn't legal, it was probably up to each individual person that they needed to acknowledge their marriage, just happened to acknowledge their marriage in New Hampshire. For example, I don't know what state it actually was, just saying for example. But if there were one person, like that one lady in, what the fuck was it, Texas? I can't remember her name, who was like refusing still to acknowledge, to issue marriage licenses and stuff to gay couples. Like, if just one person, Kim Clark, if just one person had gotten in the way and obstructed that, then they would not have the legal backing to sue, because under the Defense of Marriage Act, oh, well, it's optional for us to acknowledge your marriage. We don't even have to. So, sucks to be you. In New Hampshire, we don't have gay marriage, or whatever, back then. Florida is arresting people for out-of-state licenses. It's not legal for them to do that, but it's happening. I think that it was specifically that Florida, what Florida is doing right now, and we have not covered this on stream because I got fucking tired of talking about Florida, if we're being completely honest. Like, every week I had fucking multiple Florida stories. Oh my god, we get it. It's the fucking fascism nexus of the United States. We get it. But they are scrutinizing people of color, and they are confiscating IDs that they, I guess, that they suspect might have been fraudulently received, or like, I don't know what exactly the thing was, but it wasn't like all out-of-state licenses. It was certain out-of-state licenses, or maybe even like certain licenses that only immigrants get. I'm sorry, I'm fleeing Florida. No worries, same deal. I'm getting out of Kansas. I think if you're in Florida, you should get the hell out of there. Does Bill Clinton get money from the Barbie movie, even if it's a picture of him from long ago? I don't think so. Also, spoilers. I haven't seen Barbie yet. I want to see Barbie. My understanding is that it was being used to take away ID that was changed for gender markers, but that they never proved that was the implied intent. Yeah, I guess that could have been the case. I got a friend getting rescued from Florida this week. Nice. Are they going to Washington or elsewhere? I'm starting to allow myself to try to be a little bit excited about going to Washington. It's like, oh, I'm gonna finally get to have a driver's license with the correct gender marker, and, you know, it's gonna be probably pretty beautiful up there, and I'm gonna get to be near a bunch of people that I know and like, and I'll get to go to Trans Pride Seattle in a couple years. 2 years since I escaped. Fuck, yes. Yeah, I'm, like, still upset about having to be a fucking refugee, and I still cry about it pretty easily, I guess, but we're doing what we can. Florida has leprosy now. Just stay away. No. No. Bad Florida. I need a newspaper. Bad Florida. Psh, 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 psh. Get out of here. Bad. Bonk. Can we get some bonks? Come on, Florida, you being silly. Bonk, 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 bonk. I did my final escape from Arizona just over a year ago. I had to go back for 6 months, and I wanted to die. Well, I'm glad that you're out of there now. Leprosy ain't the best metaphor because Jesus actually liked lepers. Who did Jesus not like? Jesus didn't like people who hated poor people. How late am I since the beginning? Paul, we've been chit-chatting for like a little bit over an hour. We haven't talked about anything serious, but we probably are about to start talking about something. Because folks are coming in and then immediately leaving. That's what's happening on stream right now. I see you. I see you popping in and then immediately leaving. No worries. I know, we're talking about bullshit that you don't care about. It's fine. So, yeah, let's talk about something that matters a little bit more, I suppose. Jesus was only ever violent to the money changers, aka the large banks that were exploiting poor people. Right, isn't usury illegal in the Old Testament? Like, isn't charging insurance, like, not allowed according to the Old Testament? Anyway, who fucking cares? He's dead. Yeah, interest, usury. Okay, so let's have a fun story here in a second. From what I understand, there's more context about that, and the moneylenders in the church may have been a form of community mutual aid. Oh, I said insurance? Oh, I meant interest. My bad. It's hot, y'all. Honestly, the gloves make me quite warm. Shockingly, like retaining the heat in my hands. Put my hair back up. I love saving Jesus flipping I love saying Jesus flipping tables Christ because of that story. Nice. What's up, Precious? Hello. Let me put my hair back away because it's too warm for me to have my hair down. And then we will talk about some fun stuff. I have not seen people talking about this on Twitter. I have seen people talking about this on Facebook mostly, interestingly. So I posted about it in the Discord server, which, if you're not a member of our Discord, you should consider joining, because it's a nice little chill location. And there's also a place for you to recommend stuff for me to talk about on stream. But anyway, I mentioned in the Discord, like, hey, does anybody know what's going on with these memes I keep seeing? And y'all didn't know what the hell I was talking about. So I guess I get to be the one to introduce you to this meme. They weren't money lenders, they were money changers, IRC. Basically, they needed to convert from Roman currency to Jewish currency for the temple offerings to be kosher. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, if we're being completely honest, though, like, I don't know that we have access to any historically accurate documentation about the hypothetical character Jesus Christ, and, like, even hardcore theologians, like hardcore believers, still debate to this day whether Jesus actually was like a person who lived. Thank you for the compliments on my shirt, everybody, today. Yes, Richard Francois. Welcome in, y'all. Okay, we have 50 likes. That's pretty legit. And we are about to talk about a funny story about racism. You know? We'll talk about a funny story about racism. Okay. Okay, my arms hurt. Good. Ugh. I keep seeing all these chair memes. What are all these chair memes about, y'all? This is... Like, I just keep seeing stuff about a chair, and I don't know what the memes... I can, like, tell that something happened. I can smell that something happened, and I don't know what it is. And I finally figured it out. And what happened is, there was a kerfuffle, let's say a kerfuffle at a dock. We had a WWE-style mayhem caught on camera. Punches thrown, hair pulled, chair used. According to witnesses, the fight began when a group of boatmen attacked a dock worker at Montgomery Riverfront. So I believe this is in Alabama. Get my headphones. I need headphones, headphones, headphones. Whoa, you're very dusty. How did that happen? Here we go. Let's see. So, a fight broke out in Alabama, leading to the arrest of several people. The brawl took place on Saturday, with dozens of people involved. The entire incident was captured on camera, and clips were then shared on social media. One of the videos shows a man using a folding chair to hit the opponents. There are 4 active warrants. So, apparently, allegedly, what happened here is that basically, like, there were some white folks having a party on a big boat, like a pontoon or whatever the hell they're called, and they had parked their boat near the docks, and there was a bigger boat coming in, And a dock worker was like, hey, can you go ahead and move it along? Let's go ahead and move it along here. And he was a black man security working at the dock, and a bunch of these white folks allegedly jumped him. Like, they refused to move their pontoon boat so that a bigger boat could dock, and then they attacked the security guard. So let's look at this. We've got several videos. There's 3 different videos, and I think that these are supposed to be in, like, chronological order. Wow, yikes, I have the wrong speakers open. Wrong speakers. Okay. So this is gonna be obviously a content warning for, like... Is this the first altercation? I mean, don't mess with people. Oh, okay, so then a bunch of white people get in on it and start beating him up. Women are trying to pull people apart. Another black dude just rolled up and is, like, starting to get in on this. There's another black dude coming in. Someone just jumped in the water to swim across, I think? To go help? He's swimming his ass over there. Oh my god, no. Oh my god, dude. And so, like, even more people are coming. These are more white folks off the boat, I think. More black people coming in. Just, they're trickling in. There's 3 videos, by the way. It looks like some of the fight has broken up. But I think what keeps happening here is that the fight breaks up, and then people keep talking shit, and then the fight comes back, and, like, so we're gonna watch multiple videos of this. What the fuck? Who does this to attack a guy for asking them to move their boat down a bit? Drunk white people who, like, cannot stand that a black dude would, like, dare to challenge their authority. This is where slaves were brought in by boat back in the day, so this isn't just a fight. I doubt that those white people are thinking about that at all. But, like, this is the thing about white people, is, like, we're so insulated from racism that we just don't even have to think about that. You know, like the Jason Aldean, you know, we talked about that country music song thing a couple weeks back, and, like, he himself was not really part of the creative process, but then also, like, all the white people who contributed to the project, and the result being a music video where they were projecting a bunch of BLM protest footage onto the side of a courthouse where a black man was lynched in 1927. It wouldn't even occur to a white person to think, oh, a black man may have been lynched here at some point in history. Maybe I should double check that this is not, like, an intensely racist thing to do. I've seen, like, a white-owned business that named itself Strange Fruit. Okay? Which, if you're white and you didn't know, Strange Fruit is a reference to, like, the ripening bodies of black individuals after being lynched from a tree. So, you know what I mean? It's, like, the kind of stuff that you just don't even think about unless you've been educated on it, because as a white person, like, you are encouraged to not be aware. So I don't even think that any of the white folks at this dock are aware of the fact that, like, what they're doing here is an expression and perpetuation of the deeply violent racism of the United States, you know? So anyway, let's look at this next video.
Now come about that boat, baby. They ready to move on.
This is a different angle. It's a big-ass boat.
Yeah. What's up? Y'all was up a minute ago. Yeah. Woo! Woo!
I don't know. Did I just hear the N-word drop? I think I just heard the N-word drop, so I'm not surprised that they're throwing hands now.
Woo! Woo! They scared. Look at them. They scared. Woo!
Oh. More shit happening on the... Dude, this is crazy.
Woo!
All these people on the balcony with their phones out.
That's what you get. Oh, tie her ass up. Ooh, she whooping her ass. She better put her in the
Oh no!
Fast ass up. 'Cause y'all
Oh
was
no.
wrong.
There's the cops showing up now.
Do some.
I'm really surprised that the cops are not, like, doing something already. They're just, like, letting this fight happen.
Woo! He ran, he jumped in the water. Yeah, yeah.
Dude. Venusian, right now we're not doing anything serious. Right now, I mean, this was, I guess, a serious situation, but we're fucking memeing about it. There's a video somewhere from the beginning with the pontooners arguing with the security guard before they attacked him. The cops look so confused. I'm really surprised that they didn't come in guns out, you know, ready, because there was like four black dudes like bearing down on a couple of white dudes just then when they showed up. Yeah, so there's one more video, I think, from this particular selection, and then we got some memes to look at. Some memes! Here we got another angle. Oh, he went for the fucking eyes and throat, bro. He was not playing around. Holy shit, dude. Discombobulate. Yeah. Just like the escalation, like how... There's the chair! Hey, it's the chair! Oh man.
Oh my God! You going to jail? They gonna get him a felony.
Yeah, he wasn't playing around with that. Oh man. Oh wow. Understandable why he's getting arrested. I mean, fair enough, right? And she was like sitting down. I don't know what she did specifically. You're in a brawl at that point. Like, I don't know if there's any method to the madness at this point in the brawl. You know what I mean? Got a couple people handcuffed. Man. That is crazy. Just imagine being at the docks and then suddenly there's like a brawl with 20 to 30 people involved. Look at all of these people showing up. Man. I don't know if there's anything else that's gonna happen at the end of this. Has things cooled down? They've arrested a few people. Damn. Alright, I feel like that's basically it. That's like, whoa. Why the riot? Why can't people just be nice? Tell me why white people cannot stop being racist. That's the problem. That's the issue here. Why can't white people stop being racist? I opened my Twitter and the first post was a meme about this. Yeah. So I've been viewing some memery on this. So allegedly, Jennifer, a contract worker at Selma Hospital, saw the people who started the brawl come in for treatment. She says they were terrified because everyone on the hospital staff was black and said, everybody's N-words in here, then called the police. I don't know if that's true, but like, these are the people involved. Like, these are the folks, like, you know, these white people on this boat were the ones who started the shit. It makes it slightly funnier that it was a white chair. Yeah. The Alabama sweet tea party. Come on. Oh, man. Nathaniel Alexander, the man who a black American who invented the folding chair. I don't even know if this is true. I feel like I gotta Google it. Who is it? Who is Nathaniel Alexander? Did you really? He was the first to patent the folding chair. He really did. Oh no. Oh no, he really did. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, this is a good one. Oh, the Twisted Tea morphing into the chair. Oh no, is there one more? Yeah, one more. From Shark Zero on, like, Instagram, I think. We ride. Anti-fascist action. Oh no. Oh man. Where's the Twisted Tea clip? Oh, I don't have it on deck. I have no idea. But you know the Twisted Tea. It's like some dude's popping off and the guy just takes his Twisted Tea and like just right across the face with it. Man. Sometimes you just gotta laugh, you know? Sometimes you just gotta laugh. Even though that was some crazy racist shit that just happened. Oh boy. I feel so bad for laughing, but come on. I mean, listen. I will enjoy... I pretty much universally, every time I see a video where a white person says the N-word to a black person and the black person whips their ass, I'm like, completely justified. Like, that's equal to me. Like, and I know we had this conversation way back in the day with Will Smith and the whole slapping Chris Rock across the face bullshit, but there are some times when I think that like, violent actions are the appropriate response to, like, violent words. So anytime, I think if you say the N-word to a black person, you are asking to get punched in the face. Like, that is the equivalent response. That's exactly what you should expect out of that situation. You know? And if you're a woman, like, if you're a white woman saying the N-word to a black person, like, especially a black woman, like, be prepared to be dragged around by your hair. I feel like that's a completely proportionate thing. I've seen that clip, Gayfesh. One of my favorite videos is where a white kid is hanging out with his black friend, and the white kid's dad shows up and calls the kid the N-word, and the white kid just fucking destroys his dad, just punches him and knocks him out cold. I love that. I love that video. Oh, we have the Twisted Tea. We have the Twisted Tea. Come on. Yeah, drunk guy yells N-word and gets smacked with Twisted Tea can. Here it is. Classic. I don't even need the sound for this. I love how this dude is ready for it. He's like, he got the Twisted Tea in his hand and he's ready. I feel like he's given this guy an opportunity. He's like, are you really making this choice? Is this choice that you're making today? It's like, oh, you've chosen to make this? Like, I'm gonna step closer to you now. Please. Oh, and of course, the person of color is wearing a mask and the white dude isn't. Look at him. He's ready. He's like, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you with this thing. And he shook it up first, too. Ah. Yeah. What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? This guy is clearly willing to put you down. Classic. Absolutely classic. Yeah, right in the trash can, too, where he belongs. I literally bought a Twisted Tea after this. They were selling out. Oh, no. The arc on that spray. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Patrice O'Neal has the best take on this. Oh, and we have a Beau the Fifth Column video about the Montgomery Ducks. Cool. Physical violence is problematic because you're using physical power to dominate someone. In this case, it's justified because being able to use the N-word in that way is leveraging a social power. If someone's just insulting you, it's not leveraging power. I think that that's objectively incorrect. Like, if you're in... Like, there are situations where someone insulting you is leveraging power. Like, if your boss insults you, they are also leveraging power, okay? So, like... I don't think that you can just unilaterally say that someone being insulting to you in a way that is not invoking your intrinsic traits is not about leveraging power, you know? Like, if a rich person, like, you know, flicks a quarter at you and says, like, go buy yourself something nice or whatever, like, I don't know, like, that's still an insult that's leveraging power, right? I'm just throwing out random examples, you know? I personally, like, and I talked about this a lot. Listen, I talked about this a lot during the Will Smith video, and a lot of people disagreed with me, and it's okay for you to disagree with me, all right? But I think that the monopolization of violence, i.e., the fact that, like, violence is not allowable in society and the state has absorbed all of the violence into itself. Like, police are allowed to be violent as much as they want. You know, the state is allowed to be violent, and many of the actions of the state are not even labeled violence, right? I think that has made society worse, because I think that you should be concerned if you call someone the N-word, or if you deliberately misgender someone, or, you know, if you otherwise, like, if you insult someone or degrade them in public. I think that the reasonable expectation of getting fucking punched in the mouth is like a deterrent. That like I truly believe that society is on a downhill in certain ways because you can just be fucked up to people and there are no consequences. So this is just my personal opinion, and I'm not saying that I have like a perfect system involved for like when I think violence is justified or unjustified, and like I recognize that using violence opens the door to violence, and like maybe, you know, the threat of police violence is what prevents certain violent situations. But then again, you know, white people, the kind of people who are in power who will enact violence on other people, they are friends with the police. They don't really care that much. So like ultimately, I truly do think that like society would be a better place if there were real consequences for being fucked up to someone, even if it's just within the context of like insulting your wife who is bald, you know? Like, just because it's kind of unclear that, like, factually, like, it is misogynistic, and in some cases you could also say ableist to make fun of a woman for not having hair. You know, if she's a cancer patient, if you're making fun of a cancer patient for not having hair and she's a woman, you're attacking her beauty and her youth and like the ableism aspect. You know, I can argue that that is a power differential, but I could also just say like making comments about people's bodies even is like something that you should reasonably expect that people are going to retaliate against you. Now here's my new thing, actually, because I don't want to be violent toward people because I know I'm going to be over-policed. Even though I'm white, I'm degenerate, so I'm still going to be over-policed. I'm just going to start telling people to kill themselves. If people are going to be fucked up and shitty to me, I've looked it up. It's not illegal to do that. It's against TOS online. But if I'm in person and someone is being transphobic to me or some bullshit like that, I'm just going to tell them to kill themselves and walk away. Like, I will say the most fucked up and brutal thing and literally just tell them to kill themselves. That's what I've decided I'm gonna do. Hate speech is specifically using language as a violent act, has its own category under law. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, even notwithstanding hate speech, you know? The door is open already when the law is doing violence to people. Personally, I think being punched in the face is the least of what you should worry about if you take away people's right to bodily autonomy, for example. True, yeah, like, again, the definition of violence. Some people can't use physical violence for whatever reason. Aw, my take is ableist now. What the sometimes I just don't understand the discussions that we're having. I guess let's watch this Bowie the Fifth Column video. Seriously, I do think some people, like on a slightly more serious note, a couple times when I've been saying, you know, you should arm yourself as a trans person, like you should be willing to defend yourself as a trans person in this society, sometimes the response to that is like, well, what about disabled people who can't physically defend themselves? Like, I don't know, dude, stay home or have someone else do it for you or get a gun. Like, are you literally trying to tell me that, like, the fact that some people can't do violence means that me saying that violence is sometimes the solution means that that's an ableist take because some people can't? Like, oh my god. The Supreme Court justices be falling downstairs. It's true. It's just like one of the natural implications. It's like what, like, I'm just like, what is even the point of saying some people can't use physical violence for whatever reason? Like, in a discussion, you know, it's like, yeah, I know that, you know? Look at my hands. Do you see me wearing compression gloves? I'm like, ooh, my hands hurt. I'm a little inside faggot, and I don't even go anywhere. I like can't even go to the gym right now because my hands hurt. Oh, I can't even use my mouse right now because my hands hurt. Like, do you think I'm one of the ones who's gonna be out there throwing punches? Probably not. There's a reason why I want to move. Inside faggots get put on the sniper team. True. True. Get me my ergonomic rifle. Matt Walsh can only say his shit behind a camera and at conservative conferences, because if he ever said that shit in public to someone, he would be Matt Walsh. Like, some people won't be given the benefit of the doubt by police and society. Yeah. Yeah, part of what I'm saying is that the monopoly on violence by the police, and the fact that okay, let me explain. The police already don't prosecute white people who do violent shit to black people. We literally already live in a society where white people can get away with traffic infractions while black people will get pulled over for not wearing their seatbelt or for not turning on the turn signal. Like, we already live in a system where a lot of things are legal if you're white. So of course, like, it already is illegal to be violent toward people, and white people straight up kill black people in fucking public, in the day, in the middle of everything, around a bunch of people, and they get brought in for questioning and then let go. And then after 3 weeks of, like, increasing tensions, they finally go arrest the guy who, like, chokes out a black man in a fucking subway. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not an argument against using violence. Like, the idea that the police are gonna over-police. Yeah, here's my hot take. Here's my demonetizable hot take. I don't understand why more police don't get shot dead. Because, like, I just watched a video earlier about, it was just like, a cop showed up at some house, and the people were on the porch, and the cop is, like, back in the yard. It's, like, nighttime. The porch is all lit up. The house is all lit up. And there's people, like, coming in and out the door. Like, there's some confusion, clearly. And one of the dogs slips out. Now, the dog is a Pomeranian. We're talking a Pomeranian here, okay? And so the Pomeranian is, like, all riled up, and it runs toward the cop, and the cop tries to shoot and kill the dog, and ends up shooting a woman on the porch. And it's like, why are you alive? Like, how are you just gonna shoot someone randomly and expect to keep your life? Like, here's the thing I don't understand, is, like, there is a war going on in this country where the cops can just kill you with impunity. They can shoot you, they can kill your fucking 6-pound dog, or try to, and shoot you, and have absolutely no consequences for that action. Like, why are they alive still? These are the questions that I have. And I just think that there's only so many times you can watch a video of a cop shooting someone. Remember Simon Says? I know it's fucked up, it's a meme, that we call it a meme at this point, but do y'all remember that guy, like, 10 years ago, who, there was just some drunk dude. He had nothing to do with the reason why the cops were in the building, and the cops are in this hallway of this apartment complex, and they're yelling at this dude and giving him conflicting instructions. They've got guns pulled on him. At the end of the thing, they have him, he's, like, on his knees, and he's, like, trying to comply with their orders. He's got his hands up behind his head, and as he's crawling along the floor, his pants are falling down, and he reached to try to stop his shorts from falling down, and they just shot him full of holes. Like, just some drunk guy who had nothing to do with why they were there. And the meme, they call it Simon Says, because it's like, oh, Simon says, or you didn't say Simon Says or whatever. Like, one officer was telling him to put his hands up, one officer was telling him to put his hands down. You know, like, how many times can you watch this happen before you go, ah, these people shouldn't be here anymore? Like, I really am not understanding how we haven't had a much more reactive, violent response to I mean, frankly, like, these class tensions, these racial tensions. Like, I don't really understand. I guess people are so concerned about their daily difficulties. You know, they're worried about their kids. They're worried about being able to afford an apartment. But, like, yeah, as more and more people, like, don't even have an apartment, despite the fact that they work full-time, there's just gonna be less and less for people to lose. And, like, yeah, I just truly see this as, like, an impending civil war kind of situation where the right-wingers feel disenfranchised to some degree, and then, like, all these leftists and people of color are actually disenfranchised and being killed and, like, being litigated out of existence, essentially. A lot of them don't even care because it doesn't happen to them. I see blue line flags on cars here every day. Well, yeah, but I don't even mean white people. I mean, like, okay, women as a whole. Why are you all not burning down every government building you have access to? Black people as a whole. Why are you not burning down every government building you have access to and, like, destroying houses and fucking, like... Trans people are a much smaller percentage of the population, so it kind of makes sense to me that we aren't, like, as aggressive with our pushback. But, I mean, I also feel like, of all of these demographics, I would guess that trans people are on, like, the biggest trend toward arming ourselves. And honestly, like, that's just gonna segue us into our next thing, because I guess I was gonna treat this as a separate segment, and maybe I should treat it so, like, part 1, part 2, maybe we'll do something like that, because... You know, there is this increased arming of trans and queer people. And so that's a question that I have. You know, trans people are a vanishingly small minority, and yet it seems like we have decided at a decently high proportion, compared to the total amount of us, that we are going to arm ourselves. We're getting to the point that good, peaceful people are going to start standing up. It will be like the school bully saying, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. Eventually the person getting bullied breaks the bully's nose, and everyone looking shocked like they didn't see it coming. True. What's up, Baphomet? You gotta drink water, okay? Also, if you have not yet liked the stream, consider hitting like on the stream real quick. It is immediately beneficial to the stream. I know that there's already way more likes than there are people here. That's because I lost a lot of people during the hour-long hangout session. People came in and they liked the stream and then they left, which I appreciate. But we're gonna switch into our next topic here soon, just momentarily, since we have a really good segue here. Yeah, just I have pepper spray, and I think pepper spray is important. Yeah, Baphomet, you missed the hangout sesh. Not to be a killjoy, but a revolution or terrorism isn't going to help trans people. So here's the issue that I have, is that literally none of the other tactics have worked. Like... Also, like, so, I mean, there's definitions we have to have. Like, if we're gonna have a definitions thing, like, we have to have, like, what do you mean by revolution? What do you mean by terrorism? And what do you mean by help trans people? And, like, trans people aren't the only ones, to be clear. Like, we're also talking about a system that is genocidal toward Black individuals and Native American individuals. Like... Radical flank effect. Some violence actually fucking would help based on all of history. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really understand how you can say that violent action isn't going to help trans people when that's, like, literally the only effective method of effecting change at all, ever, in every single situation where there has ever been a civil rights problem. It has literally never, ever been solved by asking nicely. Only violence. Only threats. Because it's not about the language that we ideally wish to speak to these people. It's about what language they understand. They are not going to be swayed by polite conversation. I cannot remember the name of the guy. There was a dude who was like, you can't like protest your way out of a situation like where the state has no conscience, where your enemy has no conscience. You know, I think he was talking about Britain specifically, but like you can't protest your way out of something if people don't care. Like if you do a die-in, which they have done in the UK, there was a Michael Parenti, is that who his name is? Thank you so much. But like, you know, they did a die-in in front of the main NHS office in London, which is like, you know, a bunch of people go lay on the floor and pretend to be dead, representing the bodies of like individuals who have been killed, and people don't care. It didn't even get on the news. I literally had no idea that there was this massive transgender demonstration, except that I saw people talking about it on Twitter after it happened, when Sophie from Mars was like, posted a video of her speaking at it. I had no idea that it was even happening. It was not Michael Parenti. Okay. But yeah, like, it doesn't matter if you protest. Oh, and also Baphomet points out, reminder, terrorism is a loaded word that can be applied to peaceful protesters if you stretch the truth enough, which the government absolutely does. Right. Like, if you're blocking the street, if you're blocking cars from being able to go by, blocking commerce and economy, which is part of the point of a protest, like, you can be labeled a terrorist. Terrorism is violence that doesn't benefit the state. Right, terrorism is any violence that threatens the state. Like, the state, at its pleasure, deems certain violence to be terrorism, even though the actual living situation that we are in is that we all live under terrorism. We all live under the threat of violence, the terror involved. Like, again, so how many people here, white people specifically, I'm interested, how many people here start to get nervous if you see a cop car while you're out in public or while you're driving, versus how many of you have a positive reaction? How many people see a cop and go, I feel safer knowing that that officer of the law is nearby? Versus how many of you see a cop and go, holy fucking shit, don't talk to me. Please, God, don't talk to me. Holy shit, please don't look at me. Like, yeah, like, even if you're white, you don't want to get pulled over. You don't want to talk to a cop. When I lived in the Springs, I'd do a wanking motion if I saw a cop pass. Like, I don't even want to do that. Like, I feel like I cannot express my First Amendment right to do a wanking motion towards someone because I'm afraid that a cop will, like, bother me, if not hurt me. Yeah, that was at a point in time where I felt like I didn't have anything to lose. These days I would be more cautious. Exactly. Yeah, in the UK, there was over 500 people laying on the ground outside the building. There's just... I just don't, you know, like, I just don't understand, I guess, some of the opposition to this perspective that I have. Like, I haven't seen a single cop since I moved to Seattle. They make themselves scarce. They know they're not wanted. But yeah, like, a lot of people in America are preparing for violence, including leftists, like, arming themselves. So, segueing us into another video, which was posted in our Discord server. If you're not already a member of the Discord, it's a great way to get notifications for the live streams. There's lots of good conversation that happens there. It's not crazy busy, but sometimes some members are joining up in voice chat to talk with one another. And if you have something that you want me to cover on the show, you can post it in the stream recommendations area, and I'll see it, and I'll consider going over it on stream, just like this. This was a video that was posted in the server, and we're gonna go ahead and familiarize ourselves with its content. Let's go. Whoa.
Now, there are fears that a polarizing election will further inflame the culture war in the U.S. This week, the Department of Homeland Security warned of a rise in right-wing terrorism. The potential targets including the LGBTQ community as well as racial and ethnic minorities. Now, while the debate over gun controls remains deadlocked in Washington, one organization says the best protection for vulnerable groups is to give them guns as well. DW's Amian Isif caught up with them.
Rob Royce knows his guns inside and out.
This is for the revolver. That's 9mm, pretty standard 45 ACP for the fellow right there.
He's a certified handgun instructor, but not what you might call a typical one. He isn't a police officer, he's not in the military, and he doesn't vote Republican. He's a member of the Socialist Rifle Association, and he knows his politics may be a bit out of place here at this rural shooting range in Maryland. When he talks about the training he offers, he lowers his voice.
So for what we're doing, the target group is to provide a safe space for trans, queer, people of color, and other marginalized groups to get this training.
No teaching.
So yeah, so this is a place in Maryland where they specifically provide training in weaponry like this. This was Australian media who made this video. Yeah, I thought it was either... It's like German or Australian. I think that DW is owned by Germany or something, like a company in Germany, perhaps. So we'll continue watching this, but yeah, honestly, anybody skeptical of the idea that violence is necessary for change, who told you that? The government that needs to change? Of course the government would tell you that the tools that force them to do things they don't want to do are totally useless and bad. Right, like, you know... Where did you get this idea? Where did you get the idea that violence is not effective, you know? Was it when you were in school and school taught you that Martin Luther King was the best and Malcolm X was bad and that Martin Luther King, you know, he went the nonviolent route and, you know, progress was made in his lifetime, blah, 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 blah? Like, who taught you that using violence is against the rules? Who taught you that using violence was ineffective? Yeah, you cannot debate bro your way out of genocide. Like, is there any point in history where the state, which was actively using violence to enforce the law, is there literally any situation in which they don't, that they aren't, like, requiring violence to respond to that, you know? Some folks here would benefit from listening to the debate on nonviolence that Doe and President Sunday had the other day. We couldn't finish it, Baphomet. I don't remember if you were here or not. But we watched it for, like, God, I want to say, like, 40 minutes or so. And it was just deeply frustrating because Doe would drop these fucking bombs on the conversation and then no one would even acknowledge that it spoke. And it was just deeply frustrating. It was mostly, like, President Sunday versus that one guy, like... I don't remember his name, but it was a deeply fucking frustrating conversation. Hick. I think Hick? Was it Loner Box? No. Loner Box was, like, in the middle. I was looking at someone who was, like, right below President Sunday. Wick. Yes, it was Wick. He sucked. Wasn't there a recent Renegade Cut video on various self-defense tools? I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, this is being discussed more and more, like the arming of people of color and trans folks. When I was in school, they told us, ignore bullies. If you start hitting or fight back, you're just as bad. Or they would tell us, like, well, they want attention, so if you give it to them, then, you know, they'll keep doing it. Every time I ignored them, we both got punished and nothing changed. And every time I did fight back, we both got punished, but they left me the fuck alone. Yeah. So it's, you know, you're getting in trouble for getting bullied. You might as well hit them back. In any time in history where there was a great social pressure to do something, there will have been people who committed violence, but who knows how much the violence actually contributed to change. Sorry. I get really impatient with this discussion because I feel like people have the same 3 points that they keep making. about how violence is bad, and I'm like, okay, you know, like, the Nazis sure responded to political debate, you know, they definitely cared. Like, you realize that Martin Luther King was killed by the United States government, right? Like, we realize that the NRA exists, like, as a retaliation to the Black Panther Party. You know what I mean? Like, the idea that you're gonna get anywhere non-violently is, like, a thing that you've been brainwashed to believe. Yeah. Private property is inherently theft and neoliberal fascists. Anyway. My favorite lesson about authority came when I was in middle school and I got absolutely wailed on, had my face pounded in, and could not move by the time I got broken up from the guy who was beating me, and I ended up getting suspended from school for it. Yeah, the show Doctor Who, he claims that he hates violence, but if you push them far enough, they finish the fight. Yeah, I get so fucking weary of all of this, like, rhetoric against using violence, because it's like, yeah, the powers that be want you to think that violence is never the answer, because it works. You know? Like, unfortunately, that's the situation that we're in. Politically speaking, historically speaking, the United States government is willing to use violence to, like, suppress other governments that they don't like. You know, why would the US government tell you that violence is bad while simultaneously constantly using violence to get its way if it genuinely thought that violence wasn't the answer? Like, literally, the official position of the US government is that violence is, like, the primary way of getting what you want. Violence is the primary way that they get you to follow the law. Violence is the primary way that the US secures resources. Violence is the primary way that this entire country stays together. The constant threat of retaliation and violence. Salvador Allende? Was that the name of the guy I was thinking of earlier? Perhaps. Anyway, let's watch the rest of this, because I'm interested in seeing more.
Today, just target practice with fellow SRA member Eric to keep informed. In the parking lot, a prejudice is confirmed. A bumper sticker with an anti-trans slur.
Yeah, it says the T slur on it.
Rob and I want to make sure that, like, that there is pushback against this kind of shit. That, like, trans people have a right to live.
The Socialist Rifle Association was formed in 2017 and now claims several thousand members. A handful of the Maryland's chapter's members have come out to this monthly picnic. They say they're nothing like a right-wing militia, but one thing they do have in common is the belief that guns will make them safer.
So I bought my first gun. It was a shotgun 10 days after January 6th. I was terrified that, you know, there's going to be, like, an armed militia at the grocery store, and, like, my child is non-binary. They hear me say they, them, or whatever, and, you know, so they just total, like, you know, this essence.
Like, this is very real. Like, this is very much, like, the real pressure of living in America is where you're like, if I go to the grocery store, is there going to be, like, a group of armed people there? Like, am I safe? You know, I didn't even really think about it until literally just today. But, you know, I really enjoy wearing, like, I'll wear a tank top, or even if I'm at the gym, I'll just wear, like, my sports bra. And I have a gender-related tattoo right up here. And I was like, oh, shit. I've never really thought about, like, my tattoo being visible, because it's behind me and I don't really think about it that much. I think more about my voice and about those kind of visual indicators that I'm non-binary. But, like, I have a gender tattoo, like a gender symbol on my shoulder, and I'm like, do I need to start being more thoughtful about making sure that that's covered up when I go out in public? I really don't like it very much anymore. So I was kind of thinking about having it covered up, or I was thinking about like adding to it to make it like an anarchist symbol as well as a gender symbol. But like, you know, it's like, this is real though. Like, you're afraid of people hearing your pronouns. You're afraid of hearing people, like, you're afraid of people hearing your voice. You're afraid of being too visibly trans. Yeah, it's a good thing people can't see the tattoo on my hip, honestly.
Paranoia.
So I was raised Jewish, and I sort of recently came out as trans, and both of those aspects to my identity put me at like a higher risk for political violence.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear about it so much, it feels like sooner or later it'll get to you. And you don't want to be in a position where you don't see it coming.
Perhaps surprisingly, there aren't any weapons at the picnic, but there are tourniquets and wound packing. After the barbecue, Rob teaches a first aid course called Stop the Bleed.
Stop right there. Look for blood on your hands.
There are no illusions here that carrying...
They do a Stop the Bleed course here. When I was watching this video before stream, I like cried a little bit because I'm like, yeah, shit, like, honestly, like, yeah, so honestly, the skills that you'll get from a Stop the Bleed course are probably going to be more useful to you than like learning how to use a gun when it comes to like these situations. Like, unfortunately, like, the medical response is probably going to be more likely to save someone's life than you having a gun and like trying that whole like good guy with a gun, like trying to neutralize. I think honestly that the idea for trans people arming ourselves is not so much that we think that we're going to be able to stop someone who's shooting us, who's like shooting everyone at the grocery store, but rather that if someone approaches us in an alley or something, then at least we will be able to personally defend our bodies, like one-on-one. I think that that's kind of more of the idea that we have. It's not so much that we want to be the hero, but rather that, you know, if one individual attacks us, then we can at least put a stop to that pretty immediately, you know? So Kitty makes a really excellent point here as well, that I think is another really good point. My first girlfriend's dad is a Vietnam Marine. He taught me a lot about defensive movement and how to close distances. It is still super dangerous, but I feel like I can take most weapons from most people because 90% of people holding guns are very underprepared to enact real violence. Not gonna lie, once I had the gun, I would use it. So yeah, I mean, I've thought about this before too. Maybe in combination with learning how to use a gun, like I don't necessarily want one, but maybe it would be a good idea to learn how to use a gun and then learn how to disarm someone so that, you know, like, that's the danger for you. If you're carrying a weapon, like, you know, you shouldn't, like, preemptively pull out a knife to defend yourself because the person could, like, decide to take your knife away and then they have a knife to stab you with, right? So I guess that would be a similar thing. Like, if you learn how to disarm someone, then that could potentially be of greater use. Even though it's obviously still quite dangerous, rather than you having a gun and then it being like, you can shoot them, but then they still have their weapon that they can attack you with. So unless you're going to shoot them right in the face and you're going to hit them right in the face the first time, you know, like that's, if you're Gen Alpha, you learn Stop the Bleed in kindergarten now? No. Do they really? I mean, that makes sense, but man. No, I totally understand that as well, Baphomet. Like, that's part of the reason why I have historically been opposed to owning a gun is because I don't want to harm myself. It, you know, increases the likelihood that you will die from suicide, or it increases the likelihood that you'll die of, like, a domestic gun-related incident to have a gun in the home. You know, like, there are dangers involved. It's about the trade-off, I guess, between, you know, one danger and another. So I personally don't have a gun. I have pepper spray, and I have keys, and I carry my keys on a lanyard so that, like, I can easily and quickly disconnect the pepper spray from the rest of my keys, and then I've got pepper spray in my right hand, and then in my left hand I can like wrap the lanyard, and then I have my keys as like a swinging weapon a little bit. And that's like my self-defense plan, I guess, is ideally the pepper spray will allow me to maintain distance away from someone, and if they get close enough to me, then I'll just like slap the shit out of them with my keys like flopping on the end of a lanyard. Like, you know, my personal choice has not been to get a gun, because I personally have looked at the statistics on this and I just don't think that it would be worth it. But other people and myself feel this pull toward doing something that is going to protect us in some meaningful physical way. So which direction you choose to go with that is sort of up to you. Please take a self-defense class. That's not a good idea with the keys. What do you mean? A ranged weapon is not a good idea? 2 ranged weapons is not a good idea? Super late, but was there news today, or was it more of a discussion hangout? We've been... For the first hour, we were just chilling, but now we've been having a serious conversation about political violence for a while. This is why I told my sister-in-law to sign up for a self-defense course instead of buy a gun. Yeah, so this is the other thing, y'all. You can't just say, please take a self-defense class, because $200, please. Do you have $200 to put in my hand so that I can take a class? Would you like to give me $200 so that I can afford like 2 hour-long sessions? Keys between the fingers is a bad idea. Keys as a ranged weapon on a lanyard are good. Yeah, I mean, like, that's what it is. It's not the keys between my fingers. It's like I can swing them, you know? The pepper spray is a good idea, but unless you have something unusual on your keys, the attacker can grab them to bring you closer to them. It's a swinging weapon. They're gonna reach their hand out and get stabbed with my keys in their hand? I've thought about this a lot. I've thought about wearing over-the-shoulder first aid kits as a protest and also precaution. Yeah, like... Make yourself a target for war crimes, I guess. Jesus Christ. $200 is cheaper than a gun, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I was just throwing out a number, and like, I'm guessing that I could get, like, maybe 3 self-defense classes for $200. And that's me being, like, really conservative with how much it would cost. Honestly, I think that for $200, I could maybe get 2 hours of self-defense teaching. There's a man from the 70s that my mom gave 36 stitches to with her key between the finger. Yeah, I mean, the problem is I think that you can break your hand, right? That's what the problem is with the keys between your fingers thing. I've turned my bag into a mildly effective flail by putting long spiked rivets in it. See, that's what we're talking about here. You gotta be creative, and like, it's like a ranged weapon, like something that you can hit at a distance. Like, again, ideally the pepper spray is gonna be enough to maintain distance or give me time to run away or whatever. But like, if someone continues to close after they've been pepper sprayed, then the next step is keys to the face or whatever, you know? $36 stitches is not a joke, though. I'd rather break my hand if it fucks up my attacker more. You don't want your hands to hurt like this, okay? I can run away with a broken hand. Yeah, I can run away with a broken hand. I would like my regular activities to be able to resume. Anyway.
A firearm makes you completely invincible.
Oh yeah, he was saying that there are no illusions that, like, having a firearm makes you invincible. It doesn't, and these people at these socialist rifle association are like, they're aware that you know, you do have to, you're vulnerable, like you're made of flesh.
In the U.S., an overwhelming majority of those who lean left politically support stricter gun laws and are less than half as likely to own firearms as those who lean right. But at this public outreach event in a park in Washington, D.C., the Socialist Rifle Association finds an audience for its message that there's an arms race in this country whether you like it or not, and the right wing is winning by a long shot.
A report by my colleague Amin Isif, who joins me in the studio. I mean, if I'm honest, this was quite disheartening. I mean, can you tell us a little more about the socio-political climate that makes people in vulnerable communities resort to guns for their own protection? Because obviously they don't feel protected by the authorities.
Certainly. Yeah, I sense a sense of hopelessness there. And, you know, the Department of Homeland Security just came out with a report yesterday, actually, outlining that the new terrorist threat in the U.S. right now is from extremist violence, specifically right-wing violence. Here's what they said in this bulletin. The likely targets of potential violence in the U.S., including critical infrastructure, are members of the LGBTQIA community, schools, racial and ethnic minorities, and government facilities and personnel, including law enforcement. And also the threat against law enforcement is now coming from the right wing, not just the left wing like we saw with the Black Panthers and things like this in the 60s and 70s. So there's definitely a climate here that's different from when I was a kid. You know, growing up, left wing and gun ownership just did not go together. But I think, you know, since the 2020 elections, this kind of polarization in the United States, then culminating in the January 6th riots at the Capitol building, the storming of the Capitol, that was a watershed moment for a lot of people on the political left when they saw this eruption of violence from the right wing. And I think that stuck with a lot of people. You saw one of these guys in my report saying that he literally went out a few days afterwards and bought a shotgun because his kid identifies as non-binary and he was worried about protecting his own family. So this idea of protecting your own family on the left wing.
It's an argument, though, that the gun lobby has used for a really long time, right? It takes a good guy with a gun to take down a bad guy with a gun. How surprised were you to see that on the left of the political spectrum?
Right. This is kind of new to this generation now. You haven't seen this.
Yeah, so I do think that this is a little bit of an inaccurate view of at least what we were presented from the Socialist Rifle Association. Like, I do not think that their view was per se that we are going to be able to stop mass shooters, but rather that individuals are concerned for the safety of themselves and their family unit immediately around them. Like that they're concerned about being the victims of a targeted attack as opposed to being the victims of a general mass shooting.
Previous eras in U.S. history. Now, this is not surprising to a historian who's looked at the U.S. Gun violence has existed at both the left and the right. You had union members, radical socialist union members in the 30s carrying weapons to defend themselves. You had the Black Panther movement in the 60s and 70s arming themselves against police. That was very provocative at that time. But this is pretty new, this idea that the left people, LGBT members, it's very new that they were take up arms to defend themselves. So yeah, I think that I haven't heard this argument coming from the left wing in my lifetime, but one difference that I would highlight is not this sense of like a hero who's at a shopping mall and saves everybody from an attack. That didn't exist in this group that I talked to.
Okay, good.
It was
Yeah,
more
he
the
does
idea
mention
of
this.
that if I'm trans and I am specifically personally a target for right-wing hate crimes, then it's more about protecting myself against these
I'm really
crimes.
glad that he made that correction. He's like, I want to be clear, the vibe is not that these left-wingers think that they're going to be the hero. It's that if they are being personally victimized, they will have the power to respond to that threat, you know? Like, the idea that, you know, trans women get sexually assaulted at a rate higher than cis women, and, like, that if they realize that they're about to be a victim of transphobic sexual violence, like, that they could retaliate and not end up just, like, another dead girl in a creek. You know what I mean? No, I completely agree with you, Rebecca. It's a nitpick. It bothers me when someone says that someone identifies as non-binary. You know, like the dad said, my kid is non-binary. He didn't say my kid identifies as non-binary. Yeah, I don't love that, but it's a nitpick a little bit. Thank you. Yes, when the Panthers started carrying guns, gun control laws got passed. Literally, like, the NRA exists as a response to black people carrying guns and just saying, like, you know, we're going to do what we're going to do in our communities, and we don't want police in here trying to police us because we don't need that shit.
Breaking, really. And the truth is quite the opposite, isn't it? More guns don't mean more safety.
That's right. Statistically, it's insignificant. You know, you have these horrible attacks from the right wing in the U.S., this horrible bloodshed and violence, but that doesn't make individuals statistically more likely to die from gun violence, politically motivated gun violence. It's still just a small percentage of gun-related deaths. But what is interesting is, you know, that this idea exists that that they have to do that. So, yeah, I think going back to the idea that owning a gun will make you safer. This study after study shows that this is simply not true. There was one from Philadelphia that said possessing a firearm, it was done over a year, possessing a firearm makes you 4 times more likely in an assault to die from that assault. And if you had a chance to defend yourself, meaning if you could actually draw your gun and defend yourself, then you were 5.5 times more likely to die. So even the idea of like being aware of somebody attacking you with a gun, having a gun yourself, you are more and more likely, the more armed you are, essentially, to die in an attack.
I mean, Isif, thank you so much.
That's interesting, and I would be curious to see where he pulled those studies from, but I agree that I have looked into the statistics on this, and like generally speaking, having a gun does increase your risk of dying from like homicide and suicide, and like in domestic situations. Guns don't historically make very good shields. Yeah, like so if it's you with a gun versus another person with a gun, again, unless you shoot them and immediately kill them, it's like got limited utility, right? It's got limited utility. So yeah, like I just, knowing I may have to lie and say I'm socialist to get their protection, Venusian, I don't want to think that you're being a dick on purpose, but like, do you honestly think that Socialist Rifle Association, anyone who is in there saying, I care about trans people, would only protect you as a socialist? Like, are you trolling right now? Are you being stupid on purpose? Like, what the fuck is up with that? Like, I genuinely don't understand why you would think that you would have to say that you're socialist in order to benefit from the protection of people who just care about minorities. Are you okay? Yeah, fair enough. If someone has a gun and sees that you are also carrying, you become an immediate target. If you don't know that they walked in, you can't draw and defend yourself. Oh my gosh. My knees. Oh no, my knees. Do they really care about minorities, though? I mean, it was the explicitly stated goal of 2 of the people who, like, made the group in that area, who lead the group in Maryland, so... whatever. But there's a reason why I don't have a gun. I do think it's probably good to know how to use one, and to get, like, if you can get training in how to disarm someone, that probably would be ideal. But mostly do a stop the bleed. If you're gonna spend the money on a gun, you might as well instead invest that money in a bulletproof vest, if you're that worried about it, and then start wearing that on a regular basis. But as far as, like, affordable options, pepper spray, you know, those fun little things on your keys that look like a kitty cat, you know, the little kitty cats for your keys. And also get the hell out. Like, I mean, let me just reiterate that if you are not aware of the rainbowpassage.org, that is a thing that people should know of, because they need more donations and more volunteers to help get people out of states. And people in these states need to get out. I'm in Kansas. It's not legal for me to use public restrooms anymore, and I'm just gonna get out. Instead of risking staying here and being a target of violence. Like, I'm just gonna go. Kitty cats. I do love kitty cats. You know, the fact that they make your stress go down. You know that did you know that having a cat reduces your risk of, like, cardiovascular events by like 40% or something like that? Get a pair of self-defense gloves from the 1800s and legit maul a motherfucker. They have, like, they just have straight up razors on the fingers, don't they? Yeah. I gotta drink more water. I'm gonna need to pee soon. I prefer to wear a bodysuit of mithril when I leave the house. Do cats sense heart attacks? I don't think so. Cats can smell cancer, for sure. But I think it's just mostly that the stress-relieving effects of having a cat around reduces your overall cardiovascular risk. What's up, Vicon? Welcome in. I'm going to a kitty cafe this weekend. Ooh, that's lovely. I actually think that there was a kitty cafe that opened up, like an hour drive away from me or something like that. And it's like, is it worth it to drive to the kitty cafe? Maybe. I know dogs can sense seizures, so I thought I would ask. Yeah, I don't know that there is much evidence that cats can sense, like, immediate, cardiovascular events or anything along those lines, but they can smell cancer. Sometimes I feel like there's some listicle out there of 10 health benefits of owning a cat, and it's just written by a cat, and every bullet point is, you can give me the fish. Health benefits, you get to stay alive longer to give your cat more delicious food. Some studies show that being a cat owner extends your average lifespan by a few years. If my cat smelled I was sick, it wouldn't tell me. It's usually stuff like, you know, if you have breast cancer, the cat will, like, smell at your chest and, like, paw at your chest and, like, won't get up off of your chest and stuff like this. Cats do pick up on the cues when someone's about to have a heart attack. Like, facial expressions and physical cues. Interesting. Well, I mean, if you're, like, acting outwardly like something's wrong, then of course the cat can, like, tell that you're behaving weird. I would be curious to see if there is any indication on that. Oh my god, it's so hot. Can I take off my gloves now? Or my hands still hurt? I've been wearing them for, like, several hours solid, so I would kind of like to be able to take a break. It's the constant trade-off between one physical disability bothering, like, the solution to one thing is the problem to another thing. Oh my gosh. Oh, damn, Mersh. Oh, shit. You didn't have to show up here if you were just in a car wreck. I mean, holy shit, you got T-boned. I'm glad that you're okay. You got T-boned on the driver's side. Holy shit. Man. I mean, good luck with getting your car fixed and everything. If you got T-boned, then at least there's, like... There's gotta be, like, insurance, right? You know? There are actually no real studies that show cats can smell cancer the way dogs do. Yeah, but absence of evidence doesn't mean evidence of absence. You know what I mean? Like, there haven't been any studies, but anecdotally, and, you know, ultimately, like, data is comprised of a bunch of individual situations. So, like, individuals have claimed that, like, their cats started behaving weird, you know, but, like, we don't study these kind of things because of the assumption that cats are dumb and not useful and they're very aloof and everything, you know? There seems to be some kind of moneyed interest in observing the efficacy and usefulness of dogs. Yeah, also cats have never trained at medical school like all dogs have. Yeah, I mean... like, it's anecdotal evidence, obviously. But, like, yeah, just, like, I recognize that, like, yeah, just because we haven't studied something doesn't mean that there isn't evidence of it. You know, there's never been, like, any robust formal study of the effects of progesterone on the, like, breast growth of trans women. But, like, lots of trans women have, like, gone and on progesterone, and, like, some of them have changes to their breasts and other ones don't, like, but it does seem like for a decent number of people it's worth trying at least. But a lot of doctors will say, like, because there are no studies on this, which we don't care to do, we won't give you that medicine, you know? I have to pay $2,000 out of pocket before they do. No, but I mean, like, I'm not talking about your insurance, Mersh. I'm talking about your, Like, the other person's insurance. Like, why... Like, doesn't... If someone else hits you, doesn't their insurance have to pay? Dog turs, true. I also believe snails are social. Nobody had studied it, but I have lots of anecdotal evidence, so I'm open to anything. Yeah. Do you check your Patreon messages? Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Come on. Okay, great. That was a lot of lead up. I like read my Patreon messages, but I rarely respond to them. You can still get charged with the crash if you were the one hit. Like, say if you ran a red light. Sure, like if you're at fault, right? If you get T-boned and you're at fault because you ran a red light, I was considered at fault. Oh my god, that sucks, Mersh. I'm sorry. I guess I was just assuming that if you got T-boned, then you were not at fault. Damn. But yeah, snails, snails are interesting creatures. They're pretty okay. But they also, like, they are breeders, right? They breed a lot, and then there's a lot of them. A guy motioned for me to go out. I pulled out, and someone passing him hit me. That's a bummer. Anyone watching this stream is probably not really at fault, let's be honest. Truly. Okay, let me get rid of some of these tabs, because I don't need all of these tabs anymore. Oh yeah, I guess we could watch this Beau the Fifth Column video about the Montgomery docks. It's not going to go in the segment, but we can respond to it. Because I like Beau the Fifth Column. He's pretty neat. Drink water. I can't wait to eat later. That's exciting. Uh-oh, we're 2.5 hours into the stream. I didn't eat enough beforehand. I'm starting to get hungry. Uh-oh, uh-oh. So for the rest of the stream, we will watch this Beau the Fifth Column video about the Montgomery docks. And then my next thing after that is going to be a... oh yeah, some of these memes were really funny. Spicy memes. Let's see, what's the other thing? Oh yeah, we'll talk about the lady who did blackface at Target. We're gonna do a little response segment to the lady who did blackface at Target. It was a few weeks ago. Mama Mephistopheles posted about it in the Discord. But I am gonna go to the restroom really quick. So let me do that really fast. I guess I might go ahead and refill my water since it's almost empty. And so I'll be back later. Noah, have a good night. So yeah, I'll just be back in a couple minutes. If you need to take a break to like grab some water, go to the bathroom, do that. I'll be back momentarily, and we will continue. Yes. Bro, it is so hot in my office. Finally, we can enjoy the chair now that the annoying Luxander is gone. Ugh, how dare. Yeah, who is that tall man talking to us while you were gone? The one with the mushroom hat? I don't know the mushroom man, the mushroom man, the mushroom man. Is this like the hat man? Is this like when you take too much Benadryl and the hat man shows up? Ooh. Yeah, it's fucking hot. What about the Ambien walrus? Oh no, I didn't hear about the Ambien walrus. This is a new thing that I did not know about. I went on a hike today and I checked my health app after and realized I climbed over 48 flights. Get it, Avi! Get it! Hell yeah, Avi. Alright, let's put headphones on and listen to Bo at the 5th column, because he's a cool dude. Okay, that's the wrong thing. This is the thing that I want. Nope, that's still the wrong thing. I want this one? Yep. I have 2 different earbuds, and it's very confusing. Okay.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about Montgomery.
Okay, hold on. Wait, we're gonna look at this meme first. Oh no! Oh god, the Ambien walrus. I must have forgotten to go to sleep. Take some more Ambien and cut off all your hair, man. Let's do this. Well, Ambien walrus, I guess I can't eat all the cookies in a 3-pound family pack. Myth busted. Let's go for a drive. Oh no! Stop it. Why am I wearing a hat, Ambien walrus? When did I put on a hat? It was right around the time you pissed all over your dog and bought a chandelier on eBay. True. You broke your sunglasses. Sunglasses are illegal in the future, Ambien walrus. Put them down and help me build this time machine. Oh no. Great idea, Ambien walrus. The wall is pretty dirty. Oh, come on. You're really small. I bet you can fit in your own fridge. No prob. Really relaxing. I'm not sure, Ambien walrus. Ambien walrus. Come with me on an adventure you'll never remember. Call all your ex-girlfriends. Not now, Ambien walrus. I'm trying to lose my car keys. Oh no. Hey walrus, I think I took some Ambien earlier. Do you remember? Kill your parents. Okay, so I did. Thanks. Oh my god. Ambien, yeah, I used to have a prescription for it, and if I would take it and then I would not go to bed, like, within a half an hour, I would, like, usually clean or make a lot of lists about my intentions for the following day. There was definitely at least one time that my partner and I had sex, and I was, like, kind of not really all there for it. Like, no issues. We have a consensual relationship where, like, we can, like, start touching each other when we're having, like, when we're asleep. Like, everything's okay. And I remember it and everything. I just remember being like, oh, wow, I was not really fully present for that. I was, like, just mostly asleep. But yeah, like, it wasn't non-consensual or anything. It was just, I was like, wow, holy shit. But otherwise, I don't have any shenanigans that I think fucked me up on Ambien. Yeah. Although, like, for sure, I was, like, taking Ambien and drinking alcohol on the same nights sometimes. And I am lucky that my heart didn't stop. Like, that can just, your heart can just stop. Ativan is a better rapid knock you out. Yeah, I'm off of, I'm just not taking any crazy hardcore meds like that. So, anyway.
The docks and what happened, and a whole bunch of questions that came in, and a misunderstanding of what something means. Okay, so if you have no idea what I'm talking about, over the weekend there was an altercation that occurred at the docks there at the river in Montgomery. There was a pontoon boat piloted by, looks like a group of white people, and it had docked in a spot where a riverboat is supposed to dock. My understanding is that a dock worker who is black is telling them to move. This prompts an altercation. I have no idea what actually happened, no clue, okay? But what is very visible is a whole bunch of white people beating on this black person. And then black people from everywhere started coming to his aid. This has prompted a whole lot of questions for everything from, why did they all come to his aid? What about the person who, I guess, jumped off the boat, who, from what I understand, is actually a teen, like a 16-year-old. And I think the one that is most interesting is that on social media, people were saying that, you can't mess around on those docks. And I got a question that said, I don't get it. They said not on those docks, but, I've been there. That seems like a really nice area. It is. It is a nice area.
What's up, Brutus?
The park nearby is actually really pretty. And incidentally, when that riverboat's there, it's very picturesque. There's walking trails, like, through the town where you can pass all these historic buildings, to include, like, a warehouse and a pen and the old market and the depot for people. A market for buying and selling people. Warehouse and pens for people. Montgomery, Alabama was very central to the slave trade. Guess where they came into town? Cotton went out, slaves came in.
On the docks.
Black people are saying not on those docks. White people are hearing wrong neighborhood. That's not what they're saying. That's not what they mean. It is unlikely that a group of white people are going to be able to beat a black person in that area in 2023 without eliciting a response.
Yeah, for sure.
It is hollowed ground. There are markers everywhere explaining where you're at. Once, probably every other year, somebody goes on vacation to Europe, and they go to a camp, and they take a photo that is, they're smiling too much, or they're in a silly pose, something that is not demonstrating the proper amount of reverence.
He's talking about Holocaust camps, I think. He's like, people go touring, like tourism to Holocaust camps, and like they take inappropriate, cheerful photos there.
Social media goes wild. Those docks, that's action, a whole bunch of white people beating on a black guy, that's not something that is going to be taken lightly. I would imagine that at least one of the people who got involved in that was actually walking the trail, because it goes right by there. The pins, I want to say, are like a block and a half away. For a region of the country that likes to scream, oh, my heritage, my history, that's why we need to keep this flag. A whole lot of people don't seem to know it. That's the history. What happened in that area? The pins for people. The market for people. That's what they mean by not on those docks. Makes a whole lot more sense now, right? Now, I would imagine that certainly had something to do with it. I also, from what I understand, a lot of the people who got involved were co-workers of the first person who got hit. There were a bunch of arrests made. From my understanding at the time of filming, there are still 4 warrants out. But
more water.
There are a lot of places in the South that are hollowed ground. They are places where horrible, horrible things happened. And in the South, everybody just kind of moved along and acted like it didn't happen. And by everybody, what I really mean is the governments that were controlled by white people.
True.
They didn't set it aside. They didn't put in a new dock. They didn't memorialize it the way things have happened in a lot of other places. So you can really just hang out and have a few drinks on a place at a location that a whole lot of horrible things happened.
Yeah, imagine like being able to go sit at like a little bistro cafe in Auschwitz,
That's, when they're saying that, that's what they mean. It's not a bad area. It's not a riff.
Okay, he had something very specific that he wanted to respond to, I see. That makes sense. Nifty neato. Oh, blue sky. The new place that I want to be. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this earlier today. I was just like chilling on Facebook or whatever, and I scrolled past, and it was like a picture of 2 women who were clearly like about to beef with each other, and one of them who had like a lot of makeup on, I was like, oh wow, she looks like a beautiful trans woman. I was like, wow, look at her. Like, who is that? Who is that trans woman lady? And then I looked, and it was Ronda Rousey. Like, Ronda Rousey, who said some shit about trans women in wrestling or boxing or whatever it is that she does. She bitched about trans women, and I didn't know what she looked like. I didn't know that what she looked like, so now I'm just like, wow, Ronda Rousey, you're way too clocky. Like, you're way too clocky for this right now. Excuse me. Blue Sky literally just emailed me an invite code. Apparently they're finally giving out the email list codes, so I have 2 codes. I don't currently have any right now. I had a couple. I think I've had 4 total, and I've given them out to different folks. So, yeah, holy cow. I have this other thing I'm supposed to talk about, but I also kind of feel like I'm really warm and I might want to just go now. Maybe in a few minutes. It's just really frustrating being in America right now, y'all. Like, I get so fucking exhausted. I got so many things going on. I got so much shit to do. Blackface Target Lady is a quick goof. That's true. It's a fairly quick goof. I don't have to do it like I'm doing a segment if I don't want to, so maybe I won't do it like I'm doing a segment. Nope, that's not the right thing. And there's another one.
When I say...
No, shush. Yeah, exactly, Brutus. You're way behind, but yeah, but MLK, Gandhi, and Jesus. Look at all these non-violent people. Oh, God. Alright, maybe I won't actually do this like I'm doing a segment, because I don't really care about this lady going on my fucking actual channel. So let's just amuse ourselves for a moment. Look at this lady. Like, just before we even get into the video, this is what we're getting into. This is what we're doing today.
Worry. You're a horrible person. You're literally doing blackface. Yeah. In the middle of the store.
Lester Holt did whiteface.
Hold on.
Where's your pride section?
Hold on, let me take it back.
Worry.
You're a horrible person. You're a horrible person.
You're literally doing blackface.
Yeah. Thank me later.
In the middle of the store.
Lester Holt did whiteface. Nobody said shit. Where's your pride section? I need to know.
We're past.
Oh, I thought they were celebrating this and they took our flag forever. No, I was wrong. My bad.
She, like, wants to know where the pride section is, and they're like, it's fucking July, so we don't have a pride section right now.
I don't shop at Target.
She's like, I don't shop at Target. I don't know.
Find me. Post it on my Facebook, please. My Facebook friends love it.
She said, post it on my Facebook, please. My Facebook friends love it. Like, these people like, took video of her, and she's like, please post it on my Facebook.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah? Alright, was there another video? No, I don't think there was another video. Oh yeah, wait. There's this.
Y'all are not prepared. So this person, Logan, is with their mother at a Target and sees this, so they start recording.
You're a horrible person.
You're literally doing blackface.
Yeah. Thank me later.
In the middle of the
Yeah,
store.
we'll get to the parking lot in a
Lester Holt
second.
did whiteface. Nobody said shit. Where's your pride section? I need to know.
We're past.
Oh, I thought they were celebrating this and they took our flag forever. No, I was wrong. My bad. I don't shop at Target.
The funny thing is that, like, switching from June to July, you literally replace the gay flag. You literally replace the rainbow flag with an American flag. Like, Pride segues into Independence Day.
I just take pictures. Join me. Post it on my Facebook, please. My Facebook friends love it.
Come on.
Up there, because then they hear a ruckus in the parking lot, and they go out to see what's happening.
Thank me later, bitch. Thank me later, bitch.
Notice the Trump sticker.
You don't know me.
It's not working.
I don't know what happened before the recording started, but it's like she's antagonizing someone.
You're okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not worth it.
Show of hands, who's not shocked that there's a Trump Pence bumper sticker and
Yeah.
she has Trump Pence stickers on her? Yeah, they stopped recording to console the woman that she was almost getting in a fight with. And at that point, they said the woman in blackface backed out of her parking spot, yelled the N-word at them several times, and drove off.
Unsurprising.
Now, I can see this behavior and go, okay, this is not this person's first rodeo. Chances are, if you post this video, a bunch of people are going to be like, I know who that is, and they probably acted shitty before. And that happened when Logan posted the video. The name they were given led me to this Facebook page. And all joking aside, this is a descent into madness.
And
Hey, it's the title of the stream.
I need to fish out some other people, so I'm going to go smoke them out today. But I thought I'd wear blackface so that when I'm done smoking them out and the FBI or whoever the fuck needs to show up and listen to me for once, when they show up, I want to get a job. So I'm going to make sure I put on a blackface so I can have my best chance at getting a job.
And even with a
What is what is happening? Do you think you're gonna get a job right now? Like, what? I don't. Yeah, this is drug addiction behavior. Yeah, like, what drugs do we think she's on?
plethora of disturbing things on her Facebook profile. Chief among them, it appears that she has been stalking and harassing either her neighbor or a former coworker for quite a while. And it is beyond concerning. And even Logan, who posted the original video, had someone contact them that said they used to work with her at the post office and that she made a threat to pew-pew the place just today and that they were on lockdown. And then here's a flyer at the post office warning employees that if they see her, she's not supposed to be there, to call 911 immediately. And even she is posting that on her Facebook to be, like, celebrated. This woman is clearly
like,
mentally
yay.
ill. She is showing signs of being a danger to herself and to others. And law enforcement needs to step in and do something.
Yeah, I mean, she's dealing with something for sure. Is it supposed to be a racist riff against affirmative action in the FBI? I guess, like, like, oh, black people have a better time getting a job. Oh, I'm a white and everything sucks. Yeah, it's so feminist that we live in a society where women can be terrorists too. Gosh, we need these terrorist Karens. Oh, man. It's like, what do you even say to someone? I mean, because, like, I honestly, like, the initial response, the initial urge is to treat her as though she's being serious, right? Like, the initial urge that I have is to be like, man, it's sad that I don't get to flex today. The urge that I have is to try to grapple with her actual beliefs as she presented them. But, like, I mean, maybe this is one of those situations where you just have to go, like, this person is, like, there's something going on. There's something wrong, and I don't know what it is specifically. I don't know if it's drug abuse. I don't know if it's, like, she's mentally ill, or is it, like, COVID-induced brain damage? Like, is it ableist to suggest that she might be a drug addict, or that she might have brain damage? I have seen that take, actually. I don't know if any of you have, that, like, calling out the idea, like, pointing out that people have widespread brain damage from COVID is, like, ableist. But I mean, brain damage does make your brain not work good. So, and also, like, it's, in my humble opinion, it's self-induced brain damage. So, I think if someone went and bashed their head against a rock for a few hours and then they were, like, medically the R word, I don't know if it's, like, ableist to question their competence moving forward. All depends on how it's said, right? Yeah, I guess, like, it depends on what your intentions are, or, like, I don't know. It's just, ableism is one of those areas where it's tricky. I think it's fairly tricky because ableism is so pervasive too, Do I think that someone who has COVID-induced brain damage, like, shouldn't be allowed to drive? Maybe. Is it ableist that I think that they should have some of their privileges limited? I don't know. These are questions. I initially thought it meant that she'd get a job in the FBI because they're racist and hire racists. Oh my god, Venusian. Oh my god. Good gracious. She is gatekeeping and girl bossing her way to the top with this blackface. Man. She wants attention, though. Fundamentally, is what she wants. She posted on Facebook or her social media or whatever before she went. She recorded herself being in blackface and posted it on the internet. And then she went and like deliberately was there to stir up trouble. She went in blackface to go to the Target and go mess with the Pride section and harass employees. And she wanted it to be posted to Facebook. So is that not even mentally ill? You know, like the fact that if she genuinely was saying like, I might get a job, like if any part of this is because she earnestly is like, this would be a good way to get money, frankly, the sensationalism and outrage marketing associated with this could very easily be, you know, this woman did blackface and is being inflammatory because she thinks that it will get her clicks, and that clicks then translate into money. Which, like, girl, I understand. I'm sitting here thinking like, ooh, maybe I should start recording myself doing stuff at the gym, and I'll start putting shorts of me in the gym. Or maybe that's Fansly only content or something. But yeah, like, I get it, girl. Like, monetize it. Monetize every second of your life if you can. I guess. Oh, man. That was fun, though. The blackface. A blackface. Lady in Target. The landlord way. Truly. Real life troll Milo Y wannabe. Did Milo Yiannopoulos ever do blackface that we know of? That's a question that I have. Milo Yiannopoulos. Blackface? No, I don't think that he has ever famously done blackface. Oh wait, no, did he? It just feels like something he would do. Considering subscribing to your Fansly or Patreon. Hey, you know what? On Fansly, you get pictures maybe like once or twice a month. And on Patreon, you don't get sexy pictures, but you might get like vlogs and other posts like that. So it's up to you. $5 on Fansly. And there currently is not a $5 tier on Patreon, but you know, you always have the option to support at different tiers. Is Milo Yiannopoulos still straight? Is he gay again? Is he gay? As of 2021, he declared himself ex-gay, and then in June 22, Marjorie Taylor Greene hired Milo Yiannopoulos, and the headline describes him as, quote, ex-gay. The Daily Beast. Isn't the Daily Beast one of these, like, The Daily Beast is one of the right-wing organizations, right? Milo Yiannopoulos desperately declares himself, quote, ex-gay, says his new mission is conversion therapy. Is this not one of the... I thought that this was one of the right-wing ones. But I don't know the names of any of these stupid fucking... I know there's the Daily Wire, right? Milo should transition if he really wants to be straight. Do you think the girlies will accept him? Milo advocated for pedophilia. Gotta imagine conversion therapists are in a good place to abuse kids. Yeah, no shit. Transition won't save her. I don't think transition is gonna save her, no. Oh. Do we have any other memes that we could touch on tonight? Any other memes or creams? We want to do a smuggy chat? I was watching Xander Hall the other day because I watched his response to Demon Mama's conversation with Soul Bunny, you know? And Xander Hall said during that stream, he was like asking questions about transition stuff because he was like, I don't really know any of the details. Like, I know that people take these medicines, but I don't really know the details. And I was like, maybe it would be fun to do like a Ask Me Anything related to hormones or surgery with Xander Hall. Like, maybe I could go on his stream and like have that chat because I think it could be fun. We're not like close or anything, but you know, it could be an interesting opportunity. I always love to answer questions about trans surgeries and hormones and shit. Asking Milo to transition is like saying, how do we make Blair White but worse? Yeah, if Milo transitioned, Gammy would propose marriage. Sam Collins is advertising a sex toy. Considering getting it, I would get a sex toy if it was sponsored by you, Luxander. Let me get Adam and Eve to sponsor me. I just got one of those like sucker toys. My partner got one for me. It's, you know, those like clit sucker toys, and wowee, it's highly effective. And it was expensive. So frankly, if they would like pay me, I would definitely advertise it and talk about it. But I can't advertise sex toys without the company paying, because then my video would get demonetized, you know? The owners of Castle are transphobes? Wait, what? Is Castle a particular, Castle isn't the one that you worked for, was it? Am I missing something? I just got a strap-on. The harness has an internal pocket for a bullet. Oh, I didn't realize that like transphobia was part of that whole situation, but it's been a few months and frankly, I forgot some of the details. Probably. Yeah, I'm gonna eventually invest in a strap-on, but I already know what the strap is gonna be. Like, if I ever get a strap, it's gonna be a jock harness, because that's like the one that is highly adjustable and stays in place and it's super comfy. So, beautiful. I like that I already know. I'm like, I don't even have... I'm not even in a situation where I can use a strap-on, but I know exactly what it's gonna be. Got recommendations? Yeah, I have like, at least, like, as far as I know, this is like the... Oh, wait, I can't look it on Amazon. From what I've heard, this jock harness is the good. Like, everybody says that this one is, you know, stays firmly in place. Like, straps, like, very comfortable. And it's got, yeah, it has like a bullet vibe above and below where you put the dildo. So, I mean, this is what everybody says is good. So I figured, you know, it's $130. I'll buy it eventually, someday. Wonderful. Someday. God, I've known for like 10 years what harness I would buy if I ever was gonna buy one. Mine was not that much, but that's awesome. I think once upon a time I had a really flimsy strap. But like, yeah, it was super flimsy. Or I can't remember if I ever actually did get a flimsy strap. Once upon a time, and I actually do still have it, but I never use it. I have a strapless strap-on, which it has the part that goes up inside you, and then like there's a dick part that comes forward. Comes forward. And so the couple of times that I used that, I would just like pull down my boxers but like still wear my boxers around my hips, and then like there was like an upward pulling motion with the elastic that would keep everything in place, so I didn't have to use a harness. I mean, ideally the idea with a strapless strap-on is that you don't have to use a strap, but they also kind of just like fall out of you if you don't have strong enough Kegels. Tucking and then putting on a strap is weirdly affirming to me. A lot of girls are super into using a strap when they put their junk away, you know? That makes sense to me. Down, down, dicka down, down, dicka down. The spare parts are really well made. Yeah, I've heard good things about them. I'm probably not gonna need one for a while, but oh my god, my hand hurts. I took off the gloves, and my hand hurts now. Again. It got better, though. I had, like, swelling in my fingers. I could see swelling in these fingers earlier, and now it's down to normal again. So, at least some parts of it have gotten better. I'm not on my A game for Smuggy Chat because my junk is still numb from electrolysis earlier. I want to get laser. I just don't know if there are any good places to get laser near me. Because you really want to do, like... when you do laser, you want it to be done by an actual nurse, right? For the most part. You can fit absurdly large toys in their rings if you have patience and don't mind sore fingers. Yeah. I feel like, you know, in the absence of an open relationship, it's gonna be like, I'm not gonna use very large toys for a while. All boobs turn into peen in the end? What? I use Milan Laser. They're a national company, but it was hella expensive. Yeah, I think I've heard of Milan Laser before. So if they're a national company, then ideally they will be, like, a better option. Like, a less risky option. Because I don't want my laser to be done by some dickhole who doesn't know what they're doing. My electrolysis is on hold because she's on vacation. Yeah, honestly, if I could afford laser hair removal, I would just get my fucking tattoo. I can use my membership with them anywhere in the country as well. Yeah, I think Milan also had an option that was like, you make a one-time purchase and you get like lifetime coverage on that one body part or something. They have a guarantee too, and you have to be certified because the laser is super powerful. Oh, cool. So I guess I'll go... I can try Milan if they have a location near me, maybe. I don't even want to get, like, complete hair removal. I just kind of, like, want them to thin out some areas. It was about $3,000? Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, like, if I did one session of laser on my legs and maybe, like, one session of laser on the bikini area... And maybe eventually, like, a half Brazilian or something, just because, like, here's TMI moment. You know when you have labia, right? And there's, like, in-between parts, right? Like, you've got, like, the clitoris, and then you've got labia, right? So sometimes you can have hairs that grow, like, on the inner surface of the labia, and then, like, when they're growing... They point inward into your soft tissues. So it's not really that pleasant. And I would kind of like to have less hair there. That would be good. How do you spell it? It's M-I-L-A-N. Milan. Yeah, it's really uncomfortable. Takes like 8 sessions to permanently kill follicles. Well, I mean, you know, if you do one session, it can, like, thin it out a little bit, right? Or does it, like, you have to you have to attack the same hair follicles numerous times in order for it to actually take any effect? Mine has paid for itself by now, as my hair was very stubborn, and I took about 20 sessions to stop needing to schedule regular appointments. Fair. Yeah, or 20. I don't need it to be totally clear. I just want it to be less. At least your hair is darker, lighter hair has more issues. So if I get hair removal on my arms to get, like, my penis surgery, I have to have electrolysis on my arms because my arm hair is blonde. I've had 3 sessions and I only shave every other day now. Well, there you go. Laser hair removal. Okay, y'all, I'm fucking hungry. We're talking about random bullshit at this point, and I'm ready to go rest my voice so that I have energy to talk to you on Thursday. I would prefer laser over electrolysis, but I gotta do it for GRS prep. Yeah, exactly. Electrolysis is supposed to be more painful and difficult, so yeah. Well, everybody, I'm gonna get out of here for tonight. As far as I know, I'll see you all on Thursday unless something happens. So in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Be good. Don't get in trouble. They got electrolysis machines at Guantanamo, I bet. True. Yeah, I hope you are feeling okay, Mersh. Be well, for sure. All right. Ew. I'll see you all later.